Well, you guys have a deputy there.
We don't know that.
And
this is what this guy says. I mean, that is like so irrelevant.
I know.
Say,
Russian
well, what
I know. Whoever's
what
on the other side of that line.
That part I don't even understand. So what I would say, I wouldn't have repeated it, is what I'm saying. A Russian immigrant. I mean, how do we know it's Russian Polish?
God, when you said that to the guy, I almost hunched over. It wasn't as good as a shoe bet, but it was close. I'm just thinking this poor deputy on the other line's going, holy shit, I'm talking to a nut.
Oh, the PIO? Oh, I know.
Are they two separate buildings, though, like you said?
No, it's one building, but it's all in the same facility. And the men are taken up to hearings in the mornings and the women in the afternoon by women deputies. They said there's no mix. There's never a man present back in a women's facility.
Well, did you call the guy and tell him that?
Well, we should have him on the air.
Yeah.
He was very entertaining.
Let's get him on.
He also, you know, just little things, like the way he...
I'm going to figure out what he's got a goal going. He's trying to either get with her or something going on.
I have to stop screwing around. I really have to order the Bluetooth and the whiteboard. I want to start walking and talking.
Yep.
You should get a little treadmill in here.
Then we're going to need a camera that could kind of companion.
No, just have one at the board. Oh, you really need it.
I agree.
The board's going here, and then when we're not using it,
the big problem with the board is we need a truck. They're
and it
fucking
doesn't
huge.
need to be electronic.
I have nothing to put it in.
Board? Oh, we don't need that.
Whiteboard.
I'm talking like this. Man.
Yeah.
Oh, no, man, I'm thinking a big whiteboard. I want to sell advertising on it. I want a big whiteboard. I'm not kidding.
Well, electronic?
No, God, no. Just a big whiteboard. Like you'd find in an office.
Can we ask them to hang one? Can we ask if we can...
That's what we should do.
Ross said he would not have a problem with it.
Order one from Amazon.
If we order one and hang it here...
That's what we'll do.
We can't just hang it without asking.
No, we'll have Dominic put it up.
But we have to ask if it's okay.
We've never done that before.
6 foot? Don't we? No, we'll just hang it. Yeah, like when you guys were putting the light bulbs in.
6 foot?
Yeah, it'd be perfect.
Yeah, and then go rat me out.
Rat me out, yeah. You guys are putting them in. Next thing I know, I've got everybody in the damn place looking for me.
Well, you're the one that said it. I mean, you mentioned it. You shouldn't mention it.
And who got in trouble?
Who cares?
No, I'm carrying all the lights out of here going downstairs and they're walking
Wait
up.
a minute. Where's Atlas?
Yeah, where is Atlas?
Where's our guest?
Melinda.
There.
No, I know. Eric!
Oh!
How are you?
Good.
Did you enjoy that Super Bowl?
I did.
Eric, Melinda, Eric.
Hi.
She's with the income organizer.
All righty.
So give her all your money and she'll organize it.
Okay. Have my candy bar. So put the stacks, 1, 5, 10,
Quarters and nickels.
9 count fast.
I'm going to move over here, so if you talk, like you say, you just got to hit the button. You don't got to keep on doing it every time. Just if you don't like it, there can be an
I'm finding out if Brent's available. There you go.
So I would probably sit here.
Drew accidentally printed this extra stuff, so I'm going to give it to you scrap.
So you good here? Here. Here. Okay.
Can you hear all right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Boy, did you get him good, though. Did we get that one on tape? We got to start making sure we get them on video. To see the looks in their face when they know they're had. Ah!
Oh, who's going? Someone's going to New Orleans. Let's talk to Jason. You did?
You're convinced it's going to happen.
No, I told him. I said it was
He should do it.
If you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino here, your troubleshooter. Solving problems, answering questions, taking complaints. The only show of its kind anywhere in the universe, and the longest running show on radio where we are solving problems every day to the tune of hundreds of dollars, sometimes thousands of dollars over the years, millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars recovered in cash, merchandise, exchanges, refunds, and services. If you don't know who to call, where to call, somebody lied to you, cheated, ripped you off, or you just want to get something off your chest, this is the only place to do it in radio. Really, we don't try to change your politics or religion. All we try to do is help you. And we do it through a number of ways. We have experts on the referral list that come to our aid. We have lawyers and accountants and doctors and contractors. It's really a good thing going, really. Where the advertisers are part of the effort. We're all kind of consumer advocates for you. We also have, of course, Advice. We may not get directly involved, but give you advice. That's how it works. 303-713-TALK. This hour brought to you by KH Windows, K&H Windows, or K&H Home Exteriors, because they do more than windows. They do siding and doors and other things. And, of course, we love K&H. It was the first replacement window company on my referral list at referrallist.com. And they have the Go for the Gold special right now. Go for the Gold. Listen to this one. They measure your home for James Hardy siding, and you'll get $6,200 off the entire job. And that's in celebration of 62 years in business. I knew the original owner, actually, and then I knew the owner that took over. Teddy's been there for 25 or 30 years. So here's what we got. $6,200 off your siding. That is a huge savings. Plus, with windows, if you buy 3, get 1 free. Go for the gold with K&H. KHWindows.com. You can make your own appointments. KHWindows.com. 303-421-7100. That's KHWindows.com. So let's go to the phones. Then I'm going to introduce my guest. Today we're talking about something very important, taxes and income taxes. How about that? We have Eric Reinemer from Atlas CPAs. So if you, or Atlas Financial Advisors, if you have any questions regarding taxes or anything about accounting or small businesses or anything like that, give us a call, please, and we'll talk about it. Let's talk to Pamela. Pamela, what's happening?
Hi there, Tom. Yes, I went to lunch, got a bite to eat, came back out, and that's when I noticed on my passenger side of my car that it was dented and scratched in.
And you don't know how it happened, Pam?
And I don't know how it happened. And it's the passenger side.
Is it in a private parking lot?
No, it was in a, well, I don't know if it would be considered private.
Well, where was it? Tell me where it was. Was it in a shopping center?
Yes, it was outside of a restaurant.
Okay. Was it on the street?
No, it was in the parking lot.
Okay, yeah, it's a private parking lot. So, Pamela, whatever you did with your phone, I can hear you way better. The echo went away, whatever you did. So, Pamela, you came out from the restaurant, you saw your car dented. Then what? Where's the story going? Tell us about it.
Okay, so I was very upset. I went, oh, my God.
I don't blame you.
I went into the I went into the restaurant, and I said, do you have a camera? And for the parking lot, I just noticed that my car is dented in. And the manager said, no, unfortunately, we're working on doing that.
Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, so then what?
So then I went home, I told my husband, and I did not call the police.
Okay.
So I guess here in Colorado, that's a crime?
Not necessarily. No, not at all.
Okay.
If you what? What is she saying?
If you leave the scene of an accident, it's a crime. That's all. If you leave the scene of it, that means if you get into an accident and leave the scene, technically if you run into a tree, even if no one else is involved, you're supposed to report that. However, because they want to know if there was any reckless driving or any laws broken, so you can't leave the scene of an accident. However, if there is a one-sided accident, somebody hurt your car or dented your car, you can do anything you want. You don't have to. You're not going to get charged with leaving the scene of an accident.
Oh, thank God. I was like, oh my God.
Now how, no, it's not a big deal at all. But how bad is the damage, out of curiosity?
Well, it's both, I have a little, little juke, and it's both doors.
Is it paint chipped?
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's too bad. Involved. That's too bad.
I know.
But if that's all you wanted to know, you're fine. I mean, don't.
Well, I don't know, man. The cops could show up any minute and take her to jail.
Yeah, he's kidding around, Pamela. You're fine, all right? You're fine. Richard, welcome. I'm Tom Martino. What's going on, Richard?
Good morning, sir.
What's happening?
How are you today?
I'm doing probably better than you if you're talking about malpractice. What the heck is going on?
I had an ankle prosthesis go bad. It was 21 years old.
Now, tell me about an ankle prosthesis. What are you talking about? Is this inside the ankle?
Artificial ankle.
Artificial, but it's like an artificial knee. It's inside. It's not like you didn't have any amputation done, right? You were talking about.
Right.
Okay, so they rebuilt your ankle with plastic?
Metal.
Okay, so what's going on then?
Okay, that one went bad after 21 years.
Okay.
Then a doctor in town here said he could replace it for me.
Yeah.
He did the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And on the second day after surgery, when he looked at it, it had developed a big sore on it. Those are called decubitus ulcers. And he just kind of looked at it and frowned, and then he looked at his x-rays and says, oops, it's out of alignment. I'll have to do some soft tissue realignment later. Put a cast on it and said, let it stay on there for 9 weeks. So 9 weeks happened. We took the cast off.
And what happened?
And sure enough, I had an infection in the ulcer. I was hospitalized for 4 days.
Yeah.
Then got home, went back to another doctor that I trusted more.
And what did that doctor say? Bottom line, what's wrong?
What's wrong is he's got to replace it. The new doctor's got to replace it. It has damaged 2 other.
You got to replace the entire.
They're going to have surgery.
So you have to replace the entire ankle again. Is that right, Richard? Richard, let's take a breath. You have to replace your entire ankle. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, did the other doctor say, this is very important, did the other doctor say it was the fault of the first doctor and it was the first doctor's malpractice, or that he did something wrong?
He said he did something wrong.
What did he do wrong? This is important. With a malpractice, there has to be something substandard.
Yeah.
What did he do wrong?
Line the prosthesis up so that it had a chance of working.
It was not lined up properly.
Yes.
And will he say in writing, or can you get another doctor to say, by looking at what he did, this is malpractice?
I can't get any of them to say malpractice, but his notes of when he's seen me twice imply it very, very, very
Well, no,
strongly.
there can't be implication. You can't even get to court without having another doctor, just one other doctor, say, this is malpractice. And malpractice is defined as outside the standard of care. Now, if you can't get that, there's nowhere to go. Here's the other thing. In addition to that, you have to have damages exceeding. Now, I'm not telling you each and every attorney is going to tell you this, but most will.
Sure.
If you don't have damages exceeding $500,000, they're probably not going to take the case, because to get experts to file a case and to do the research, the expenses alone on a malpractice reach into $75,000 to $100,000 just to get to the courtroom. So
I understand.
Malpractice is usually for really egregious cases. So what do the poor people like you, or maybe you have an egregious case, but what do poor people, and I say don't mean poor in finances, but what do these unfortunate people do that have cases that don't rise to that level, but they've been damaged? What do they do? Well, they can still make trouble and try to settle. They can put in claims which would trigger the doctor to go to his malpractice insurer, or talk to the doctor and try to negotiate something. I don't know what level you rise to. Hold on and we'll discuss it. 303-713-TALK. Eric Reinemer, a lot is happening, but it will affect us now for this year, right? The tax changes are for 2018.
Going forward.
So will you have recommendations based on the tax changes for what people should start doing now?
The main thing will be probably looking at if they have to adjust their withholding on their wages. Or
why is that?
Because actually everybody's going to get a couple of points break on the tax rate.
So they should do what with their withholding?
You know, actually the IRS has a little calculator coming out next week, and just to put in your income and calculate what your taxes are going to be.
Are you an advocate of putting in more than you need to?
I'm an advocate of putting in about what you need and
Right,
not more.
right, and not letting the government keep your money.
But why not less? And then you pay it. Why let them sit on your money all year long? I don't understand it.
What is the theory there? Because you could be taxed, you could be penalized.
The only issue is you want to put in enough to avoid any underpayment penalties.
Now, can you get over, if you're self-employed, you can play games with underpayment penalties by giving yourself bonuses at certain times and then taking taxes out of that.
If you have an S-Corp, not if you're a Schedule C.
But if you're, that's right, or you're an employee, you could get into trouble if you underpay.
Right.
So, Mark, you're talking more about self-employed more than
you take everything in the fourth quarter, for example.
Right.
But then you keep it all year.
Well, you can't take everything. They will not let you take everything in the fourth quarter.
No, if you legitimately just pay yourself in the fourth quarter, why not?
You're not allowed to. You're not. You have to spread it out. You're only allowed...
I take a big payment in December every year, and I don't pay taxes on that till the fourth quarter.
Mark, you can take a bonus in the fourth quarter. You cannot take all of your pay in the fourth quarter unless you truly perform the service in the fourth quarter. Now, what you're doing is you're dancing a little with danger, and I don't want people getting in trouble. Go ahead.
The issue is, Mark, are you doing that through an S-Corp?
Yes.
Exactly. So when you pay yourself your own wages, you can do that dance in December.
But even then, they question when the job was earned.
They do, but the good thing about paying yourself, we have people that pay a huge amount in December in a W-2.
Almost everyone does.
And the IRS presumes it was paid in evenly, even though it wasn't.
Right.
That's a little kind of...
But if they audit you, Mark, and they find that you truly, I don't know if your case, but someone truly took too much in the fourth quarter, and it wasn't earned in the fourth quarter, and they can make the argument that this money came in and you held it in the S-Corp, I will tell you, from first-hand experience, they will ding you.
I'm saying if the money sat in the S-Corp all year, then you take it in the fourth quarter.
You can't.
Okay.
You can't. You can't. I mean, I'm not... People, listen, you can't do it. You can do it physically.
Eric, what do you say?
I say that you can do a big wage bonus in the fourth quarter.
A big bonus. That's what he's talking about. All of the money, Eric. And we have a lot of people out there, self-employed with S-Corps, that I don't want calling me after they've been penalized. So give the advice. Give the advice. Can they take 100% of their wages in the fourth quarter?
Yes.
Okay. Will they get? If they're audited, will that fly? 100%.
I have not seen that be a problem under audit.
What would they say?
The IRS would look at the W-2 and they will presume it was paid in overlid the year because that's their regulation.
That's what they presume. I'm not asking that. I am asking, in the reality, if you paid yourself all in one quarter and they knew that, what would they do? If you had that money sitting in and you did not pay tax on it until the fourth quarter, what would they do?
If you paid in the amount that you owed, I don't think they'd challenge it.
Okay. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I am going against the advice of Eric Reinemer right now, and I am telling you that if you hold 100% of your proceeds in your S-Corp and pay in the fourth quarter only, you have a risk of them assessing you evenly throughout the year the penalties that should have been paid in the first quarter, the second quarter, and the third quarter.
I think on an LLC or other circumstances you're correct, but on an S-Corp, there's a carve-out.
There's just a disagreement. That's fine. I just feel, because I've had it happen, that they say, no, you cannot. You did not pay your estimated taxes. To the argument you say, well, I didn't earn it until the fourth quarter. And they say, wait a minute, we show your S-Corp having big, huge deposits in the first two quarters. So you defend that. I'm just saying, beware of that. We have more coming right up.
Linda made snacks. Does anybody want
Then, Eric, why don't I take 100% of my money in the fourth quarter? Why am I not doing that? No.
I would normally don't. I normally don't either.
Why am I doing that?
That's in distribution.
Okay.
Why don't I take...
Would you like one?
Why do you insist I send in estimated taxes? Why?
To avoid having, because what you make is you only pay more because you pay more payroll tax. The issue is
you're going to pay more in payroll taxes.
Based on your route, download the new Total Traffic app.
Estimated payments through the year helps you avoid having to pay more at the end of the year than 15% of payroll taxes. That's the main reason. Because if you pay the estimated payments over the year...
What if I kept zero? What if I pay myself zero until November? Oh, you took it. Okay. What happens? Why can't I just save all that tax?
The problem is, your W-2 that you pay in November would have to be big enough. You'd have to pay all the payroll tax, and you would not want to pay all that payroll tax.
Do you pay all the payroll tax?
I don't take payroll. I take a distribution.
But you do payroll at the end of the year.
Yes.
And you pay 15.3% off. You pay 15%.
He does.
Oh, he's saying not. No, I know what he's saying. He's saying because you're not going to want to have to come up with that kind of cash flow at the end of the year. I mean, is that basically what you're saying?
It could be a cash flow question. Yeah. And you don't want to pay.
If I didn't take the money and it sits in the account, what you're saying doesn't make sense because you're saying one thing and then another. He is saying no payroll, no W-2, no money out of his corporation until the end of the year.
And then you W-2 in December.
That's right.
Right.
But do you W-2 for the bonus?
Yeah, well, the bonus is made to my escort.
What do you W-2?
What do you anything I do all year long? Anything I take that's not an expense, my payroll.
Okay, so that big chunk you said you took at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You taken a W-2.
Yeah, and it's pretty much gone because I pay all my taxes come basically out of that.
So you don't have a W-2?
No, I do get a W-2.
Okay, so why am I not doing that?
Here's the model. Imagine you owe $200,000 of taxes. You could pay it all in December and pay 15% of $200,000 in payroll.
Yeah.
Tax. Well, it's 15% of $200,000. That's $30,000. Or you could pay $100,000 of it evenly over the year.
Why?
Because at the end of the year, you only have to declare $100,000 of wages, and you will only pay $7,000 of payroll tax. So you'll save $15,000.
Then why is then it's costing him money? Is what you're saying?
Well, no. Well, it depends on if your wage
It's either
withholding
saving you
is
money
enough.
or it's not. There's a reason. According to what you're saying, by doing it the way he's doing it, it's costing him money.
Unless you're only getting up to what a reasonable wage is anyway. It's a little subjective, Tom, you know.
No, I know, but we're in the business of giving advice, so, you know.
But would you rather
You just said that if someone withholds every penny from their corp and pays themselves in the fourth quarter, they will not be challenged. You sure?
I've never seen them be challenged
Okay,
before.
that's good.
Yeah.
Then I want to know why don't I do that? I could save a shitload of money through the year.
Why is his different?
Why? I don't understand it. That's all I'm asking. I don't understand.
Is it because of the amount?
It's because of the amount.
Okay.
And the way to get it in at the end of the year, it costs you 15% extra to do that.
So is he paying 15%?
He is paying 15%. You are paying 15.3% extra
for
to
doing
do that at the end of the year. So what if you did it $200,000?
No, I understand that. So
why would Mallory have me do that in a million years is what I don't understand.
Because you have to at least have a reasonable wage coming out of your S-Corp anyway. So the taxes you pay are mainly probably to get up to like whatever your reasonable number is. So you take out cash during the year.
But he still has to pay taxes on the dividends. Not payroll, but he has to pay tax on it.
But it's all put together into one package. It's all one piece of taxes. The distribution and the wages.
I understand.
All,
so you're saying he has to take a W-2 big enough to pay the taxes on the dividends and the salary.
Correct.
I know that.
Yeah.
And you're saying it's costing him 15% extra.
Not extra, because everybody has to at least take out a reasonable wage.
But you're saying I'm paying 15% extra.
If you paid $200,000 at the end of the year, you pay $30,000 of payroll taxes.
But would I pay 15% more and he's not? I don't
He is. You're both in the same situation. It's a language thing. Nope.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. All right, Richard, malpractice is probably the most difficult personal injury lawsuit to file ever. It probably is the most difficult. So, Richard, what are your Richard? You're talking, and okay. We'll wait till he settles down. I'm going to take Adam now. Adam, what's going on with you? What's happening, Adam?
Hey, how are you?
What's going on, man?
What's going on? So a while back, I called you probably 7 months ago with a lady I was buying some property off of called Pam's Property, and you referred me to talk to Ryan Woods.
Well, hold on, but what was the issue? Do you remember?
Well, the issue was I did a land survey on the property, and once I paid off my contract, she wanted me to send her another almost $1,000 to do another land survey and wouldn't take mine.
Why?
And I wasn't okay with
when you bought the property, who'd you buy it from?
Well, I thought I was buying it from her, and she purchased it through a tax sale.
Okay, so what did she sell you? What did she sell you? She must have sold you a piece of property based on a legal description.
She sold me a piece of well, yes, exactly, but she ended up selling me nothing. She never paid the tax certificates. She never acquired the land. So she sold me nothing.
She was planning on getting the tax certificate, the treasurer's deed, and then passing it on to you and making a profit.
Exactly.
Okay. So what was your contract for?
My contract was for right around $10,000.
No, I'm asking, what was it for? What were you buying?
I was buying the piece of property, 37 acres.
Did it have a legal description?
It had a legal description.
Okay, so she committed fraud.
Correct.
So what are you doing about it? How much did you pay her?
I paid her just short of just over $10,000.
And did she give the money back?
No. And so what happened is when I contacted Ryan, we looked into it, and I just sent you an email about her background. But we realized that she never bought the tax certificates, and at that point it was more important to me to acquire the land, and so I ended up buying the tax certificates from the county, and he advised me not to do anything at pursuing her until I received the treasury deed.
That's good advice. Then what happened?
Right, and so about halfway through after hiring him, he turned out to go to another firm, and so he actually rebated me a bunch of the money that I gave him. And just last week, I received the treasury deed that I purchased.
You have to go after her for fraud.
Right, and so that's now why I'm contacting you.
Yeah, you have to go after her for fraud. She can't win this. Does she have any money, or is she a bum?
See, that's what he did, a private, and I just sent you the private investigator sent to us, and I think to some extent she's a bum. But I think I would still like to get a judgment against her, whether I... And that's what he said is...
It's easy to get a judgment. You can go to small claims court and go up to $7,500 and get one.
Right. So is that something you guys can help me with?
Well, I think small claims court would be better to do that with $7,500. Yes, Mark can help you. He's really good at it. And it's really easy to do.
Carolina.
But where is it?
She's in South Carolina.
Where's the land?
The land's here in Colorado.
Okay. And where was the transaction done?
The transaction was done here in Colorado.
Okay, then you sue her here. She has to come here.
Right, which she'll not appear, and then I'll get a judgment.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Right.
You get a judgment, you can domesticate it where she lives.
Right.
So what is your question? I think you're in the driver's seat.
How do I do that? How do I do that?
Now, keep in mind, how much was the tax certificate?
I had to pay another $5,000.
Okay.
In the tax certificate.
So your actual loss is $5,000.
Right. I mean,
your actual loss. I mean, for $10,000, you were willing to pay $10,000 for that property. You've paid $15,000 for it. Your actual loss is $5,000. But you can still get. I understand that you can still get a judgment from her. But between you and me, I'm just saying that it could have been way worse.
She was a high-priced realtor. Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. I could have paid her $10,000 and got nothing if I didn't return and go buy.
Okay, so good. So go after this woman and do it here. Do it in small claims court for $7,500, because if you go to county court for $10,000 or more, the attorney's fees are going to eat it up. You're only going to net $7,500 anyway, or less.
Well, right, and that's what Ryan Wood told me is the money it would cost to go after her for that.
So what is your question? So far, you're doing great.
My question is, how do I now take her to small claims court? Just go file it?
I mean, he's going to have to serve her regardless, so you're going to have to just go serve her.
Yeah, not you, but have somebody.
They might argue venue, and they might win. I don't know. But
it's a Colorado piece of property.
Right.
It's a Colorado real estate contract, right?
It is a Colorado real
Yeah,
estate.
there's no way they're going to argue venue. It's Colorado. Those are construed under the laws of Colorado.
And determined that she broke Colorado law, and it had to be dealt with here in Colorado.
You don't have to prove anything. It's a Colorado contract.
So, but
What?
I still have to serve.
I wonder if he could get a DA or someone to actually say it's fraud and do something.
No, Ryan contacted the DA and they wouldn't take it.
Why?
He did all that.
Why?
Because it wasn't.
Because they're a bunch of
fraud.
wussies.
What county
Right,
was it?
It wasn't. He worked in Denver. The fraud took place. I live in Pueblo County, and they say since I lived in Pueblo County and I paid out of Pueblo County, the crime was committed in Pueblo.
Well, I would argue,
even though
even though
land
the
is
property,
in
you're right.
Castilla County.
So
that
Pueblo County District Attorney wouldn't take it?
Well, he contacted the Denver District Attorney because he felt that she broke Colorado law. It wasn't. He had a hard time, and I think that's part of it, is pinning down where exactly where it took place.
Right.
It might be that it has to be in Castilla County because that's where the land is.
I would sue in Castilla County.
You sue in Castilla County?
For small claims court. It's very easy. Go to the clerk of the courts and tell him you need a form for small claims. And then you fill it out, and then you hire somebody where she lives to serve her. And then you wait for the court date. And if she doesn't show up, you get a default judgment. And I would sue her for fraud, so when you get a default judgment, she can't go bankrupt and get out of it.
See, here's the problem, though. All actions in the small claims court shall be brought in the county in which, at the time of filing of the claim, any of the defendants reside.
He resides there. He resides there.
Yeah, but he's not the defendant. This says that where the defendant resides.
Adam?
Yeah?
Let them challenge venue. It'll never work. It's a Colorado transaction. Sue them in Colorado.
Okay, now what?
I mean, let them
she,
challenge it. She's not going to do it. She's not going to show up.
The name she gave me on the contract is an alias of the name of her name.
You sue her et al.
And the alias.
You put the other names. There's wording you put in. And this, a.k.a. this, a.k.a. this. Yes, you do all of that. Get the form first, okay? Do that first. And let's hope she doesn't challenge venue. I don't think she'll be successful in venue because what Mark is reading is the rules that they want to see, because they do not want a lot of cases in small claims. They want them to be very simple little cases where people had a disagreement. But that doesn't mean they won't take that case. 303-713-8255. Listen, be very, very careful when dealing with tax certificates, tax lien certificates. Always get a survey. Make sure you get title work done before you do any kind of a transaction. He wouldn't have had this problem had he done that. But Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair has a special $89 plus parts. They'll fix any problem on your car, or they will let you go free and give you a full written diagnostic. You see, about 85% of the problems can be fixed for $89 plus parts. So you have a defined price. But if the parts turn out to be too much, or you don't want to do it, no problem. If it turns out they can't do it for $89, then they'll give you a complete written diagnostic as to why. They'll show you what's wrong. They'll take you into the garage itself and show you what's going on. They want to fix it if they can. If they can't, you walk away free with a complete diagnostic. That's Budget A1 Transmission and Auto Repair on South Santa Fe Drive, just south of Dartmouth. And it's 303-781-9858. I've known the owner of Fix It 20.
You can file a complaint to have a peer review group handles it, and they will comply with that.
She sold it.
Very simple.
Yeah. She was going to try to basically flip it all the same day. Yeah.
But she never even tried.
She was total fraud. Her ass, I mean, really, the DA should do something. That's total fraud, but they never do shit.
But I want to know about those sub-S20 shares. Because why take W-2? He's saying you only have to take W-2 for a reasonable wage. Everything else can be a bonus. I pay myself, oh wait, they'll treat your home as their own. I think I pay myself a certain amount of better prices anywhere.
Oh,
and also,
well, that could be the answer why.
That's why I pay myself more than a reasonable wage. But still, it doesn't.
I pay like everything I owe.
But your reasonable
by
wage,
April.
But your reasonable wage,
the 15th of January.
Your reasonable wage, you don't even pay yourself until December, right? Where do you take that throughout the year?
I don't. All I can tell you is I don't send it. I hate even saying this on air. I don't send in anything.
Prepayments, right?
Yeah, until January 15th.
So a reasonable wage.
Yes.
What is the benefit? You have to take a reasonable wage with a sub-S, right?
Right, otherwise it's a red flag on
Of
your
course. So you take a reasonable wage plus a dividend, right? But you pay tax on everything, but you only pay HR on the wage, right?
Right.
Okay. So the idea is to take a reasonable wage, and then the dividend, if you want to get, if you are charged on those dividends taxes throughout the year,
Not the payroll taxes.
No, when you file your return, they presume that that distribution was earned evenly over the year. That comes through as a profit on your K1 from your S corp.
Right. So what I'm saying is that why do I put it through W-2? Why do I pay HR on it? Why don't I just go ahead and take it as a dividend?
You could if you paid it through the year. See, what happens is when you pay when you pay taxes like in a quarterly payment, the IRS clocks when you made that payment. They want to see 25% of it in the first quarter. You would pay huge penalties. If you paid in December, not through your wages, they would ding you for the whole first 10 months. For everything.
But you just said if you pay it, they won't do that. You can do that in the third quarter, and they won't question it.
If it's in a wage. I'm talking about the tax
okay. If you do the W-2 in the fourth quarter,
correct,
they won't question it.
Correct.
But he takes all of his dividends in the fourth quarter as well.
That doesn't make it a hill of beans. What all that matters is what your tax liability was and how it got paid in. That's all that matters.
So if well, Eric, I'm asking the same thing. I take away.
I think you answered your own question. I think it is because of the pension.
I'm not talking about my wage. I'm talking about a distribution. Let's say there's $1 or $1 million at the end of the year I want to take as a distribution.
Okay. You can take it.
Why do I take it in a W-2 and pay all that extra tax? Why don't I just take the distribution and pay tax on it?
Because you'll be 10 months late and you'll pay tens of thousands of dollars.
Why is he not 10 months late when he does it?
Because he pays in a wage, you pay some taxes in through your
I pay a wage as well.
But nowhere near enough to cover your taxes. You're way short.
$1.
Yeah.
Okay,
short.
But if I have, but they assume the dividend is paid all year?
They assume it's earned all year. They assume it was earned evenly over the year.
So in his W-2, he's covering the tax on that distribution.
Exactly.
And they assume that tax was paid throughout the year.
Yes, regardless.
Well, that's a flaw in their system, then, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's a safe harbor for the entrepreneur who may not know how much he really made until the end of the year. So they give you
But in my case, that's very true. It's very true.
Yeah, but your W-2 reflects taxes on those dividends.
That's why you need to lead.com.
I believe so. Honestly, I don't.
Well, you pay tax on your dividends.
Yes, I pay tax on everything I take. Or everything I make, not just take.
Again, okay. What if I, just theoretically, if I had $1 million at the end of the year I wanted to take?
Yeah.
You make me do a giant W-2 to cover the tax on it.
Search for great.
Yeah, they're trying to cover. Yeah.
Okay. What if instead of doing the W-2 and paying the extra Medicare and all that, what if I know I'm going to have $1 million at the end of the year? Why not just send a check in a period in my name with my Social Security for
At the end
tax?
of the year?
Yeah. Anytime. Why don't I just send in money for tax?
You could do it quarterly. I
could send in money, and then I don't have to do a W-2 at the end of the year.
Yeah, you save all that payroll tax, which is 15.3%, which is huge.
So I'm.
He took me back to East Atlanta,
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We have another guest in the studio. And that's Melinda Mackey on our referral list at referralist.com. A new member. She does the income organizer. We're going to talk about what that is. It sounds like it's right in line with Atlas Financial Advisors and Atlas CPAs and Financial Advisors. Eric Reinemer. In a sentence, Melinda, what do you do?
I teach people how to get on a household or a small business budget.
It's that simple.
We do that one small goal at a time. Most people don't have any idea what to do with their income. And
they really don't, do they?
No, and I'm guilty of it. We were definitely former money wasters.
So you get them on a budget. It sounds simple, but it's not, is it? Because people don't do it.
We weren't taught.
What's the number one mistake people make when they're living?
Credit card debt.
Well,
I mean, as far as budgeting.
They spend money based on the balance in their checking account, which means it will always be at zero. Because when they want to go buy something, they see if they have the money. They don't put money away to purchase something. They just spend it.
So in your budgeting model, you have fixed expenses, right?
Yes.
And then how do you classify the other expenses?
They can vary. And
give me an idea of a budget without getting too detailed. Am I right in calling them fixed expenses?
Yes.
Is that what you call them?
Because we know what those are going to cost us every month.
And then what are the other expenses you call?
We could call them discretionary, I guess, because
they
can vary.
Do you have fun that you budget for? Fun or?
I don't take anyone's fun away. Yes, we budget fun.
Okay.
Because if we don't do that, then they will not do the budget at all.
Have you found people, without changing their income, just budgeting, have you found them do better financially?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Without making any more money?
Yes, most people don't need a raise. They need to manage the money that they have coming in.
That's what I want to talk about, okay? Because so many times people just say, go out and get another job or do this or do that. But if you can take the money you're making and make it go farther just by budgeting.
Or save some of it.
I think that's phenomenal.
Yes.
And to a larger degree, businesses need that too. Now, Eric Reinemer, you guys don't budget for businesses, do you?
We help people do 2018, 2019 corporate budgets. Yes.
You do?
If they want to. A lot of people don't. They mess with it, but we do if they want to.
Now, let's go back to Richard. Richard, I want to talk about your malpractice because the number one question is, what is the permanent injury?
Shortening of the leg.
Ooh, that's bad.
Forever pain.
How old are you?
75.
Okay. So that counts against you a little bit. But shortening of the leg is definitely a disability. How much is it shortened?
He's predicting it's going to be 1 inch to 1.5 inches.
That's going to be major. And that'll be major as far as pain, as far as back, everything. Now, you're going to have some challenges because of your age and all of that. Who is predicting this, by the way?
The Colorado Springs Orthopedic Excellence Group.
Will they say what this guy did caused that? Or was it going to happen anyway, even if your ankle prosthesis was perfect? Would it have happened?
They're saying his application is why it's going to happen.
Let's not forget, he doesn't even have another doctor that will even utter the words malpractice yet. That's the very first thing he's got to get done.
They said, though, he did...
I think one of them will.
Okay. You need that. You need that. So that's the very first thing. But even after that, you have to have damages put at least... Now, this is me saying this, no attorney. I'm saying $500,000 because it's almost $100,000 to get into court to get all of this analysis done.
Agree.
So, do you think in your mind, what are you thinking? You're 75, you've lost quality of life. Are you thinking $1 million in damages?
The lawyers have told me to go for 1.5 to 2 mil.
Okay, now these lawyers that told you that, are they malpractice attorneys?
Yes.
Will they take the case?
No, because of the Colorado statute of $300,000.
Wait, what are you talking about, Colorado statute of $300,000?
There's a cap on
that. They told me that the maximum can be received on a malpractice is $300,000.
Wait a minute.
Maybe just
Wait a minute. No, there's something we're not hearing. Would you get Ben Dinelli on the phone, please? Could you? Thank you. 303-713-TALK. Robert's got a question. Go ahead, Robert.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Maybe Eric can answer this from Atlas Financial Advisors and CPAs. Go ahead.
So I'm thinking about start selling stuff like on Amazon and eBay and stuff. But how do you do as far as taxes? Because you through Amazon and them you sell to to pretty much all around the country.
Now you talking about income, or you talking about income or sales taxes?
Well, sales taxes and income, I guess both of them.
All right, so when you sell all over the country, let's take one thing at a time. I don't believe you have to collect sales tax, do you? That's not a law anymore, is it?
It's actually changing. Amazon and eBay are in the process of getting forced to collect sales tax if something is being delivered to another into the district of where they're going. It's a whole evolution.
They've had a couple states sue them, and what they've ended up doing is turning over their logs, basically saying, Joe Blow sent all these shirts or whatever to California, New Jersey,
does
wherever.
Joe Blow have to pay it?
Yeah, he'd have to pay the sales tax that he should have collected for that state.
Right now, if you sell within the state, you have to collect sales tax.
Yeah, we know that. But
well, and it's beyond that now, though.
We're talking about with the Internet. Right now, though, I just bought something on eBay, and I was not charged sales tax. So,
yeah, it depends what merchant you're dealing with. I mean, that person technically probably should have done it. Wouldn't you agree, Eric?
Right now, is it right now in effect that everyone is supposed to collect sales tax?
Yes, and a matter of fact, probably nobody here knows it, but on your Colorado income tax return for the last 5 years,
I know.
There's a new line where they want you to report how much sales tax you owe on your Internet purchases.
Yeah. No, they literally want you to list what you bought on the Internet.
But now they're going after the company for not collecting it.
Back to the source.
So it's up to, if you do sell, Robert, it's up to you to charge the proper tax. Now, do they have to charge state or even the local area?
I think technically,
how would I go about doing that?
The municipality.
Well, I don't know. I don't see anyone doing it on eBay. I just looked. No one's doing it. So.
Amazon generally now collects almost every merchant I deal with 2.9% for Colorado State.
Right.
But technically, Castle Rock wants their cut too, I'm sure.
Yeah, but Castle Rock would have to sue Amazon like the states do.
Exactly.
See, there are no statutes in place. That's why it takes a lawsuit to establish common law.
Up until now, that's why the states and the cities are going after the vendors, because they want to go to the source to capture that money.
Yeah, because they're going to have no chance in hell of getting it from you, who just bought something from eBay.
Unless you're an angel and
so wait a minute.
Your tax return.
So wait a minute. So Robert would have to keep track of every sale he made in every jurisdiction and then file a return for each one?
Amazon does that for him.
Yeah. It's the vendor is now being forced to do that.
So wait a minute.
He ships all of his maps, for example, to Amazon. Amazon takes the orders and ships them out. They know where they're going.
We got to take this break. This is getting very, very interesting. Buy and build. You want to save money? You don't have to go to eBay. No, seriously. Buy and build has the best prices anywhere. Flat out, I can say that. Anywhere for the stuff they sell. Well, that means, in other words, if they sell it and someone else sells it, you buy it cheaper there. Now, I don't mean the exact brand, make, or model. I mean the category. Vessel sinks, cheaper at Buy and Build. You want to buy toilets, cheaper at Buy and Build. You want to buy cabinets, top line, mid-grade, builder grade, all better at Buy and Build. If you want to buy granite, if you want to buy windows, sometimes they have those. Floor coverings, they have tile, they have hardwoods. You will do great. Now, of course, they don't install or do any of that. They sell you or your contractor the stuff at 4800 Washington Street in a big, ugly warehouse that you will love. I say they're short on frills, but big on thrills when it comes to those deals. 303-295-6022, 303-295-6022. Buyandbuild.net.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
It's still a slow drive on eastbound I-270.
There's a 300,000 cap on non-economic damage.
Well, that's fine. You can get over that.
Including damages for pain, suffering, physical impairment, loss of enjoyment of life, loss of
We need
physical
to talk
impairment,
to, you're trying to.
disconfigurement, and a $1 million cap on total damages. I'll tell you why it's crazy.
Is that $1 million on total damages?
Yeah, I'll tell you why it's crazy. You can go to the emergency room and drop $300,000 overnight, you know, if they're doing some kind
You know
of
what? Then this
open heart surgery.
This is a good state for doctors to be in.
My son lost that in 2 weeks from the rattlesnake bite.
630 K-How.
$300,000 for the antibiotic.
Boy, you'll pay it too if you need it.
But yeah, the antibiotic was $247,000 at the hospital.
In fact, that's what John Cole used to say. It's crazy here in Colorado.
But here, that's non-economic damages. So here's really
Which are, the non-economic are the big ones.
well, no, because the true economic, if you think if this guy was 40 years old and could never work again, and he was making $200,000 a year, he would get that money. I wonder if that's capped.
No, it says $1 million.
Right, cap on total.
God, is that possible? $1 million?
Yeah,
What if you make $3 million a year? Okay, so no, something's wrong. We got to talk to Ben.
My wife has been on that board. Well, she's on the limit capital board for roads, but she was on that board with it, and they said that in Colorado that malpractice.
You probably could get from your mom and dad. Just figure or smart.
Here's the other thing they did in Colorado. They passed a statute that basically says the public can get the records of any doctor to see if there has been any claims to the malpractice. But what that did is it created this circumstance to where even if they did screw up, they'll fight like hell in court anywhere they need because, you know, as soon as someone checks them, if they see it on there, who would ever want to use that doctor? So they actually did it thinking it was good for the consumer, and it backfired.
I know that they've said Colorado is the worst state ever for malpractice. I've been hearing that at hospitals.
Oh, they will fight you tooth and nail because you go on a registry. Most states you would never end up on a registry if you turn something over to your malpractice. So in other words, if I legitimately screwed up and I wanted my malpractice to pay out $30,000 or whatever the guy was asking for, I'd be a fool to do it because my career would be ruined in Colorado.
The Colorado Dental Association wasn't a bad idea what they did. They have a peer review group. You can file a complaint, and they will determine whether you're at fault or whatever there with the peer review group.
Well, then this guy should do that then.
That's Colorado Dental Association.
Oh, dental.
For dental. What they've done.
And I don't know how much teeth the Dental Association has, though.
No, they have none on that. But, well, the people will agree to abide by their decision.
What he's saying is you don't have to have a dentist call it malpractice. You can present it to that board. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we need something like that in Colorado.
Yeah, but what does that do? So what does that mean? So if the guy screwed up on my tooth, and the board says, okay, you screwed up, then what?
The peer review group determines what the amount of loss is, and they have to pay it. I just found this out yesterday. It's a really pretty good deal. I wish if we could get medical malpractice to do something anywhere close to that.
Geez, I don't know, man.
The smaller claims, because a lot of them are smaller, you know.
But the whole reason they won't pay the smaller claims is because if they do, they're basically blackballed.
Well, but through this, it kind of keeps the, you know, it keeps it under the, well, it keeps it within them as to what happens.
So I can't go look at a dentist that's paid out, right?
Yeah, they keep it. I mean, they will go by the recommendation, but this is their little secret group.
Yeah, okay.
But at least they're doing something.
Yeah, no.
So Hawaii's and worse is $375, but you're right. Economic is different from non-economic. So if you were 40 years old and stuff, because there's nothing in that about economic damage.
No, but that's the problem with this guy is he's 75,
Correct.
he's retired,
Correct.
he has no income.
Yeah.
So his is going to be capped at
potential.
He's screwed. Is the bottom line.
Is loss of consortium. What is the loss of?
But what I don't understand though is $1 million total cap.
No, but look what it says under different things. Nothing was said in there about economic.
That's no, but and a $1 million cap on maybe damages.
Yeah,
that's the one that worries.
What's that funny word to loss?
I don't know.
Can you imagine that if you're a soccer player and the guy cuts off your wrong leg or something?
Yeah,
even cut off the wrong right.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. We are trying to help everyone, and if you go to Art of Granite, you'll be helped too.
Listen, the theme on this show is always helping you save money, make your money go farther. Art of Granite will sell you wholesale all of the counter material and then charge you only for the fabrication, installation, whatever you do in the kitchen, they'll do in the bathroom free, and they tear it and haul away free. They are direct granite granite and quartz and other natural stone importers. Go to the showroom in Golden, pick out your custom edges, your sinks, your cabinets. They do cabinets too. And then get your wholesale countertop material. 303-386-5919, Monday through Saturday. That is 303-386-5919, artofgranite.net. Okay, so we are waiting for our malpractice attorney, if we can get him on, and if not today, we'll follow it up tomorrow. There are some unreasonable caps in Colorado, $300,000 on non-economic losses and $1 million total losses for malpractice. Well, that to me says, hey, this is a great place to be a doctor. Those, in today's world, those are very small limits. Now, let's go back to Robert. We were discussing taxes. It's a shocker, but it seems to be true that you are expected, if you sell something on the internet, you must collect sales tax. Once you collect the sales tax, you then have to file in that jurisdiction to pay the sales tax. Now, here's the deal. The reality is, if you're selling as an individual once in a while, like you want to sell this or you want to sell that, no one's going to do it, okay? And no one's going to come after you. But if you're on as a regular vendor or you have a business, you're sure as hell better do it, because they will come after you. I don't think they're going after individuals. Do you, Eric or Mark, do you think they're going to go after an individual selling an old washing machine? I don't think so.
I don't know. If they're selling it through, it's not going to matter if they're going to go after them, because like what Eric said, they don't have to go after them. They're going after the eBay, they're going after the Amazon and the actual vendor. So yes, if they're selling it through Amazon, yeah, they are going to go after the person selling it.
No, because Amazon's going to do it for them.
Yes.
But eBay is not going to do it.
No, eBay, you could sell that old shirt right there. No, I don't think they're going to come after you.
No, but if here's the other thing. Let's say eBay requires all of their vendors to collect, Mark. They could say, in order to sell something on eBay, you have to collect sales taxes. If they do that, then that's only half of it. Robert can collect taxes all day long, but not pay them back. Who says he has to pay them, right? That's the part. Yeah. So, Robert, who's going to make you file and pay them? I mean, it's ridiculous. But your question is answered. You have to technically collect sales taxes. And I've never once had anyone collect sales tax.
All right. Well, thanks for the answer.
All right. And how do you do it? Everyone's going to be asking that. Now, Monty said the state of Colorado is refusing him a medical marijuana card. Floyd said is a roofer, and a supply is coming after him. That is going to be interesting, too.
Michael Brown here. Let you and I go on a trip.
If Amazon's collecting it, then they're paying it. They have to be paying that in.
What's that?
If Amazon is collecting it...
No, Amazon pays it, but they do it for all their vendors, yes. They
Yeah.
take care of the entire transaction.
Only if they've agreed to do it in that state or municipality. I mean, there's some places... There's sometimes okay, here's the deal with Amazon.
How is that going to work?
If it's fulfilled and sold by Amazon, right now you pay taxes on it. But they have merchants that don't do the fulfillment, that have their own kind of website on there that you don't pay sales tax on.
So are they the seller or are they the broker? They have two different deals going on.
They can be either or.
Either hat, right. When it's their stuff that they warehouse, then they have to collect.
Then they are collecting it.
Broker is a little bit different.
And I bet they're paying it too, not just collecting it. I bet they pay it on your behalf to whoever.
Well, of course they do.
But are they doing just state or are they doing local?
I've never been charged anything but state.
So that just, can you imagine New York City suing Amazon saying, hey, I want all this?
You know how complicated that could be?
Well, first New York State would have to vote and say things purchased over there are going to be reflected in sales tax, because a lot of states right now they're not.
Yeah, there are no laws to address it. There are no laws.
If you got right now a seller in Colorado, a purchaser in Florida, but it's drop shipped from New York.
You realize who's changing most of these rules and why? It's the retail. It's Walmart. Because they don't want to compete with no sales tax.
But that's only fair. Right. You're right.
Well, look at not Park Meadows, but look at the factory shops in Castle Rock now. Now that they built this new stuff there, they put another 1% on if you're in there. You can pay 9.5% at Sam's Clubs there. 9.5%. You're better off driving to a different Sam's Club and paying 3%.
Well, what's really driving is all the local, the state, they're starved for cash, so they're forcing this back at the source because they're all revenue desperate.
Oh, God, they're beating the airplanes up bad.
It makes sense.
Taxes are trying to triple on us right now. trying to make us put in a $30,000 water system. It has to be certified every year.
Airports have been collecting taxes for years, and they've been getting shares of those taxes every year from the FAA, and they don't do anything with it. So they're fat with cash, most of them.
He says, Tom said in California, if you land there for like 30 days at some airports, they'll pop a fucking property tax on
No,
you.
they do. They say your domicile.
If you tie a plane down, if you're talking about a tie down, you end up with...
Yeah, they'll come by and get your N number and assess you sales tax or ownership tax.
Can you imagine?
Of course, they got to find it.
You know,
well, they have
They have
the
your
number.
N number.
No,
the whole
they got to
point
go
of the N
across state
number
lines
is
to get it, though.
national, it's a federal number.
You're supposed to, if you earn income there and get a pension, they say they can come after you for your pension income.
You know, California's the worst.
It is the worst.
They are so good. Well, we'll see how simple.
No, I'm talking about.
Do you think the average person will be able to do it on a postcard?
I don't ever see that happening.
Right, even now with the 1040EZ.
How about 50% of the population?
50% maybe, because a lot less people are going to have to itemize now. When
It's going to be
they
straightforward.
Right. Yeah, I think another
Because of
10,
the 24,000.
yeah, another 10 million people or so will start itemizing. It'll go from like say 40 million to maybe 20 million people that itemize.
Looking at the prices. I mean,
Which isn't exactly great for you.
It doesn't tell the engine time.
No, we don't really work with a lot of folks in that situation.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely true. Why would you? Or why would they work with you?
It's the H&R block.
No, it's worse. It's the online TurboTax.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, leather.
Yeah. Which is great. I think people should, if they can do it themselves, I think that's great.
I look at those
If they
beautiful
understand
things
it,
on the
doing it themselves. It's only when they have gnarly issues they need someone to help.
When I first switched over to Mallory, this is 15 years ago, he went back on 3 years that I did. It was business and there. He ended up getting me 3 years, over like 100,000 in credits that I could apply to that first year he was doing, which was amazing. And the guy I was using prior to that, his name was Mark Christensen, but I mean, he was missing shit that I couldn't believe.
No, it's not.
Or Mallory thought more outside the box. I don't know, but
A little bit of both, maybe, a little bit of both.
probably both.
Yeah.
One was just more aggressive.
Right, knowing Mallory, probably a little bit of
This
both
is
going on
really
there.
a nice plane. It has oxygen and everything. Jesus.
I was in
This price with a new engine.
David Salisbury's office, one of our attorneys.
I know David.
Oh, good. He's in the same building as Don Eiley.
Yeah, that's a big...
Don Eiley had this whole floor on that building. The Wells Fargo. No.
You mean the new Don Eiley? I mean, he's in jail now.
He's in jail now. But when I first confronted him, that's where I confronted him.
Over on Havana.
No, not
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Kind of by the Super Walmart. It's in Wells Fargo building. But I walked in there. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe, I'd never seen like your office, but Mallory's office was pretty big. This guy's office was almost the whole story, the third or fourth floor of it. He was the only one in there when I walked in. Not one other person. The entire place was empty. And I said, is anybody here? And I couldn't believe it. Don Eiley came walking up, had a camera right in his face. Why are you taking people's money? Why are you taking hard-working people's money and you're putting all these small businesses out? No comment, no comment. I even talked to my attorney. I said, well, there's a phone. Let's get him on right now. And then he finally did. People don't realize, until they ask you to leave, I'm not going to leave. As soon as they ask me to get the hell out. But people are shell-shocked. They don't even think to say, hey, please.
Storms that I can't hardly get to the airport.
Unless they're professional thieves, then they ask you, they already noticed.
They're sure pushing it. I don't know how they get it.
Were you around when that one company threw the box at me?
I wasn't there, but I could have said that.
I was serving him for a caller, and I walk in, I said, and I'm live talking to him during the show. And I said, Tom, I'm serving these deadbeats right now, here, you can serve. And the lady started throwing stuff at me.
Robotic surgery. His job is to go in and fix robotic surgery.
All the time.
And he's got a serious turbo.
They hear us. They hear us talk right now.
Somebody in my office, she was hearing what we were saying, like right now. Christine, you're hearing a conversation, right?
We'll still get emails. People going, hey, you forgot to turn the mic off, because they don't realize we do that on purpose.
So we shouldn't say any bad stuff right now, right?
Well, I do all the
Is that the
time.
brand name of the CTO?
This is a very dangerous environment, I must say to be in.
I know you don't, like, say, first person,
Are they
on the FAA rules for long.
Do we get sleep?
No, only on the radio.
Only when we're live. Well, we're always live. It's a whole different set.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere. This hour brought to you by Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal. If you're looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, and you want a variety not only in color and make and model and price range, you want a variety in financing, you'll find it at Rocky's Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8, 303-426-4646. We have a lot going on today. We're talking taxes. We have Eric Reinemer with us from Atlas CPAs and Advisors, and they do everything from bookkeeping to advisement on structuring and business, and they do our work at the Troubleshooter Network. We also have another guest called the Income Organizer, the company, Melinda Mackey, and we've been talking about income and the use of it, or the misuse of it, and how without making any more money you can be in a better financial position by just organizing yourself. And we'll talk about that too. We also had a long discussion on sub-S's. We have a lot, sub-chapter S corporations. We have a lot of contractors who work here and work for themselves and work all over Colorado, and when to take that income. And we actually are in agreement, although it sounded like we're in disagreement, because what we were talking about is two different kinds of income. With a subchapter S corporation, you have a W-2 income and you have a dividend income. The IRS says if you have a sub-S corporation, some of the money taken out must be in the form of wages, a fair wage for what you do. Obviously, if you had a sub-S and you're a brain surgeon, it would be different than if you have a sub-S and you're changing tires. So the fair wage comes in. Once you take a fair wage, then there are dividends you take. If you take those dividends at the end of the year, you will be penalized for not paying taxes on them throughout the year, unless you somehow pay more taxes in the fourth quarter through payroll. They assume the dividends are earned throughout the year. So we were both right. We were just talking about different things. You can take every bit of your dividends in the fourth quarter, but you must show that you paid taxes on them throughout the year. And by doing a payroll at the end of the year with a W-2, the IRS assumes the tax money paid in through W-2 has been paid in throughout the year. Is that right, Eric?
You're hired.
So
that's good. Yes.
So really, we were talking about the same thing. You cannot take all of your income in the fourth quarter and not have the taxes covered. If you do, you'll be penalized. But you're allowed to cover the taxes in a payroll, and it kind of tricks the IRS. There's no other word for it.
It's a side door. It's called a safe harbor.
Yeah, it tricks the IRS. By getting that W-2 tax in before the end of the year, it'll cover the dividend income. So if you have any specific questions, I'm not going to belabor it. Give us a call. I'm going to get to other people who had comments on sales taxes and eBay, because, man, is that getting complicated. But it's not just eBay. It's anywhere you sell. But Floyd's been waiting a long time, and I really want to get him first. Floyd, welcome to the show. What's going on, Floyd?
I'm a roofing contractor, and I was doing business with Roof Depot. And
now, was Roof Depot your supplier?
Yeah.
Okay, and what happened?
I don't deal with them anymore, but they gave me some invoices on some jobs, Colorado Springs, that I did not do.
Oh, so they're looking to bill you for them. Well, that's easy. If you didn't order the roof, why are they saying you did?
I don't know. I think there's a new company uses my name, but they put on there "and exteriors" is my guess.
Okay, so did you tell them these are not mine?
Yes.
Well, tell them to go lien the houses. You don't care. You're not going to pay something you didn't order.
Well, these were way back in March of 17, and they ordered the material out of the Centennial branch, and everybody there knows me real well, and they know that no one else is authorized to charge to me.
Okay, so how much in invoices are they trying to get you for?
One is for $5,755, and the other one is for $4,666.
Do they have addresses tied to them?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's that easy. So you never worked at that address. If they take you to court for it, simply go to the homeowners and get statements from them. There's nothing you can do about it other than saying it's not yours. I mean,
the thing is, their Roof Depot's attorney sent me a certified letter.
Good.
I had to get down to district court in Denver to answer it.
That's good because then you put it to sleep. It's not yours. It's very simply not yours, and you can prove it because there are no contracts with the homeowners existing for you, and all you have to do is find out with the homeowners who did the roof.
Okay. No, I got another letter from their attorney here a couple of days ago that says that since I'm an entity, that I would need an attorney to file my reply. And
well, you really don't.
Strike it.
You really don't, but you can hire an attorney. I would advise it.
Well, I don't want to.
Yeah. So Floyd, this is unfortunate, but it happens now and then, and you have to defend yourself. If these are tied to addresses, have you talked to the homeowners?
No, I mean, I've got an address. I have no idea. They're in Colorado Springs. I haven't worked down there since like 1995.
All right, well, you're going to, unfortunately, you're going to have to do some legwork and get copies of contracts and tell them you're defending yourself or have an attorney do it. It's a pain in the butt. I mean, you were hoping to make this go away, but somehow they're not keeping accurate track of your jobs. Do they have any signed invoices from you?
Of course not.
Okay, well, there you go. I mean,
I'm not so sure he has to have an attorney, but boy, you better do a little research before walking in there.
The last thing you want to do is lose on something that is absolutely not yours. I mean, that would be dreadful.
It happened to me about 5 years ago with another roofing supply, ABC, and they said the same thing, that since I didn't reply with an attorney, since I'm an entity,
that is BS that you have to reply with you're the entity, right?
Yes.
Well, you can reply. I don't even understand what they mean. Because you're an entity, you have to apply. What they're saying is you technically cannot represent an entity. What entity is it? Is it an LLC? Is it a sub?
Yes.
An LLC?
Okay. Yeah, corporation. But when I went down to district court,
are they suing you personally? Are they suing just the entity, or you personally? Because if they're suing just the entity, you can dissolve it. Or just empty it out and tell them that they can have a judgment against it. Are they coming after you personally?
My entity is my own name, but it's my entity that they're after.
Okay. You need an attorney to call them and say, stop this nonsense, because he's going to leave the entity empty and just start another one because it's not his bill. Or, just put this thing to sleep.
Have you got a business attorney recommendation?
Siglian.
He would be a good one for this. Brandon Siglian. And we'll get you the information. Where are you located?
I'm here in Aurora.
Yeah.
I wonder if they truly have nothing signed and no evidence, you might even get attorney's fees back. But boy, they'd have to have next to nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. See, I quit doing business with them back in November of 16 because I found a couple smaller roll call invoices, and I told them, you guys know better.
Okay.
And then later on here in the spring of 17, they put some big invoices.
I didn't hear. How much were they asking for?
About 57 on one and 47 on another.
The place.
Weird.
Yeah, don't worry. We don't want to. I mean, Floyd, and it's nothing against you. We don't want to hear it. I mean, the number part. Nobody cares about that. We care that you're being accused of buying something and not paying for it. And the way to do this is, unfortunately, you have to get an attorney and fight it. That's the unfortunate thing. It's not a consumer problem. They're going to court. They want to be paid. And as Mark said, if this is egregious, you may say, look, Your Honor, they plucked me out and made me spend money. And they had no reason to do so. I want attorney's fees. Talk to Brandon Siglian about it. And Suzanne, make sure he gets it. I'll give it on the air. 720-344-4828. He's pretty passionate about it. Kurt, what is your comment? Taxes on eBay. What's your comment?
Well, I've been selling on eBay since they started. It's been, 1996. So I have never paid taxes. I will never pay taxes through eBay. Through the communities there, if they start charging taxes and having eBay take them out, eBay will tank.
Well, they will come after you for it eventually. If they make
no, they won't, because if I buy something in a store, if I buy something in a garage sale,
we're not talking about buying. We're not talking about buying.
No. Here's the deal. No. If I buy it there, it's already been taxed. You cannot retax and retax and retax, Tom.
No, that's not true. If you sell something in a garage sale, technically you're supposed to collect sales tax. That's real.
Really. If that was the case,
it is the case.
Kurt.
Okay. No. Have you ever heard of anybody being prosecuted for it?
But Kurt, no. But listen.
No, of course not. It's not worth their time.
Kurt, we're not talking about.
Worth their time? Do you know how much money goes through eBay that isn't taxed?
Kurt, I know you're talking about opinion. Kurt, can you listen for a sec? You're talking about opinion, and you're talking about what's logical. But we're talking about the law. Technically, they can make you charge sales tax. They can, and if you don't do it, they can say, well, you can't sell here. And I agree with you. It would be an enormous task that's impractical. And I agree with you that doesn't sound right. And that's an opinion. That's a passion. But that has nothing to do with the law. The law says if you sell something, you must collect tax. Literally, technically, even if I sold something to you right now privately, I am technically supposed to collect sales tax. I am.
Even though it's been taxed before.
That's right. Even though it's been taxed before.
You can't.
Have you ever bought a used car? Hey, have you ever bought a used car?
You're darn right, and I don't pay full tax for it.
Yes, you do. You pay sales tax on it.
I don't pay the full tax on it that was when the car was new.
Well, you don't pay that on something used either. You're only paying sales tax based on the purchase price. Whoever said...
That's what I'm saying. If I buy something for $1 and it was originally $10, okay, they want me to tax it on the $10.
No, they don't.
No, they do. You tax it on what you sold it for.
You're absolutely wrong. You're wrong. They do not want you to charge tax based on what it was new. So I'm sorry, man. You have so many wrong premises. I can't argue with it. It's wrong. When you buy something for $100 and you sell it used for $50, you only pay sales tax or collect sales tax on the $50. Okay? I mean, we can argue all day long, but you're wrong. There's no reason to argue. And yes, they can make everyone collect sales tax if they get technical enough. But I do agree with you. I don't think it's possible. It's possible to get people to do it. I don't think it's practical or possible. Plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, Plumbline Services. If you're looking for a dependable company, Plumbline Services, all prices given up front. Right now, they have an electrical special, $149, one of my favorites. We call it Fine, Fix, or Free. Now, that includes parts with Plumbline Services. So if you have an electrical problem you've been, just denying or not or ignoring because you just don't want to deal with it. If there's an outlet you don't use or a switch that gets warm or you've heard something spark or arc, don't put up with it. You have a defined price of $149 or you pay nothing. And here's the thing, $149 includes parts. Now, if it's complicated and includes several circuits and it's major and it can't be done for $149, they will show you why in a written, full, complete estimate. So, you either pay $149 complete with parts, that's including parts, just $149, or you pay nothing, but you still get a full diagnostic report. For all your plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains, 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086.
On private sales.
What's that?
In Arizona, if I sell something to you, even a car, there's no sales tax.
What's this guy saying they expect me to collect tax on the new price? Why? Where is he coming from?
He had to take off his tinfoil hat.
Well, no one expects that. Man, I'll tell you, sales tax pisses me off because they do expect tax on everything. I mean, everything.
Oh, you could sell the same item 10 times. You're supposed to collect sales tax on it.
You might be confused. If you have a sales tax license, meaning you're going to resell something, they don't. If you're putting components into something, you don't pay sales tax.
No, there's no course.
If you're like buying something to resell, you don't have to.
A lot of HVAC guys pay sales tax.
But that sales tax thing you're talking about, Tom, is only true here in Colorado.
What are you talking
about?
Well,
if you look it up in Arizona, you can buy a car, even a car.
I'm not talking about Arizona then.
But I know. But
eBay has more states than not that collect sales tax.
Yeah, but eBay has a problem.
And more
to be different all over the place.
It's different not only all over the place, but within one state.
Yeah.
They probably have, what, 50 different sales taxes in one state?
Rates. And I don't.
You have towns, and you have counties, and you have, what about transportation districts?
Yeah.
You could how are they ever
The practicality of it is
There should be a federal item.
Mark, how are they ever going to do that?
Companies like Amazon, the fulfillment center is going to do it.
But how does even Amazon?
Here's how technical Amazon, I just read about it.
Zip code.
If your product, if they're doing fulfillment for you, so you send your maps out, if they're doing that for you, and it happens to be the fulfillment center in Denver, you're going to end up paying anybody that buys it from Denver, you're going to pay Denver, and you're going to pay Colorado. If the fulfillment center is in Texas...
No, wait a minute. I thought it's paid where it's delivered.
No, I'm reading it right here. Basically, it says...
Jesus, that's
then where it's delivered, what do you pay?
If your product is held in that state,
right,
that is, you're going to end up paying or charging sales tax or collecting sales tax in that state.
Then when it's shipped, does that state get the money too?
When you sell one, well, I'm just looking at Colorado's rules. The other state might very well want to get some money too. That's a good point.
Because normally sales tax is where it's delivered. That's why people that used to have this scam where they would have it shipped to a place where there were no taxes.
A low tax.
Yeah. Yes, and they would have somebody grab it and then send it back to you. You remember a jewelry store got in trouble for doing that.
Yeah, a month or so ago, did we have someone on who kind of goes after companies who sell products to elderly people that they shouldn't be selling, or is this ring a bell? No. It doesn't ring a bell.
Is that be down in the office?
She said she was.
We're live.
Where'd she go?
We're
live. Where'd she go?
Oh, she just went on the P.O. box.
Oh, okay. She went to check mail.
Yeah.
Good. Hey, this is not my chair.
No, Clint took your chair.
I knew there was a problem.
He does that every day.
I knew it. I knew there was a problem.
The medical marijuana one.
It doesn't go up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get off it, but I have a special chair.
Yeah.
Tom, the medical marijuana one is funny because they've pretty much said, don't call our office again or we're calling the police. He's like, I've got PTSD and indica works for me, not sativa.
Okay, well,
I don't know, but there's probably 1,000 doctors in Colorado that'll write it just for...
It's the state of Colorado denied it. So those applications get submitted to the state.
Who cares? It's recreation. You can buy it.
No,
but he doesn't want to pay the 25% tax.
Medical's like zero tax.
Oh, to avoid tax. Oh, God, I want a tax thing again. Jesus.
But that's the other thing is if you get medical, if you have a medical card, you can't own a gun.
Jeez, this is really... It's
that
crazy, the tax law.
My wife buys a lot of guns.
This is state of, it's just state of Colorado how they're handling Amazon.
Things. You know, she has to deal with it. They have to be shipped through FFLs and everything else on those.
And this is purely, they're talking about the collection from that company.
How much does
just like if I had a retail store and I'm collecting it and I'm filling it out monthly or quarterly depending on sales.
But she has to pay the background check every month.
Just in sales and local.
She can have 3 guns come in and has to do 3 background checks.
Oh, really? For the same person?
For her.
How does she sell them?
She knows when she's buying. When she's buying, and it comes into her FFL.
I'll tell you what bummed me out. I remember when I broke X amount of sales,
just to pay the background,
and I had to start paying. And I'm going back to my computer stores 15 years ago.
Craigslist?
But I broke my
crazy
the nexus of I don't remember what the cash was back then. But I was used to paying sales tax quarterly, and I had all of a sudden start paying a month.
How does she charge tax?
Because I'd cash flow that.
Well, that's
who cares?
Nobody knows.
If they weren't due
Hi,
quarterly.
Tom Martino here.
303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Simply Floors Inc. Remember that name, and you'll save 30 to 40% over the big boxes. If you're looking for floor coverings, any kind, they have so many new floor coverings out, I can't keep track of them, but Buddy Mitchell does it, simplyfloorsinc.com. You can drop by a showroom at 52nd and Ward if you'd like, or make your own appointment at simplyfloorsinc.com, or do both. You'll save because he has the buying power of the big boxes. They have an independent buying group, and small companies like Simply Floors Inc. get together, and they pass the savings on to you. With lower overhead and volume buying pricing, they can get the hardwoods, laminates, luxury vinyl tile, carpeting, ceramic tile, natural stone, whatever you need. Simplyfloorsinc.com. JR says he has the answer for eBay taxes. What are the answers? What's the answer, JR?
Tom, I'm living it right now, buddy.
What is it?
2 years ago, I sold a whole $435 worth between eBay and a couple other places.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people don't know, when people pay you through your PayPal account or your EFT, which is your electric funds transfer to your bank, or through any other thing, Square D, whatever, that is reported to the feds and the state. And yeah, they might not catch you in the beginning because they sure didn't catch my $435 or my $179 last year. But I just got a statement this last week, and not only am I paying taxes on it, but I'm paying penalties because I didn't report it. So for those people out there, like the last caller that thinks they're getting away with it, well, you're going to with garage sales and the flea market, things like that where you're selling little peddly things.
Yeah.
But if you're selling or buying online, paying by credit card, or electronic funds transfer, wire, anything else, they're going to get you because it's coming, because eBay is making millions upon hundreds of millions of dollars, and of course the government wants their
I know. It's sick what's going to happen. It's weird. Monty, what's happening with you, Monty?
Yeah. Hello.
What's going on, Monty?
I paid them 2 years ago, February, and every time I call to find out where my card is and stuff, a Mark, a supervisor, keeps intervening in my phone calls and threatening to charge me with harassment.
What is he talking about?
He's talking about a medical marijuana card only because Suzanne wrote it on the computer. So you're having a delay in getting your medical marijuana card, Monty?
Well, 2 years ago I paid them, and they Mark keeps intervening in my phone calls.
All right, why won't they grant you a card? It should take less than 2 years, and they give that out like candy. Why aren't they giving you a medical card?
Mark, that supervisor, keeps harassing me in between my phone calls and won't tell me what to do, what to correct. Click, click, click. We'll charge you with harassment.
Wait, so
I found it, put it in writing. I did. I emailed them another copy of my driver's license. My caregiver did, and nobody knows if they got it.
Well, it's not keeping you from getting stoned. So, what is where are you getting your marijuana?
Well, I don't. You can go. I need indica to calm my PTSD down. I don't care what
Not
anybody thinks
sativa,
about it.
indica.
What's that?
Indica calms me down. Sativa agitates people with PTSD, and I want the public to know this. It will make you cuss. It'll bring out
Monty,
aggression.
Monty, you listen.
What a great PSA.
No, I understand you have your select, the one you want. Can you get it at a recreational shop?
I think it's illegal to bring it from Manitou to Colorado Springs. It's not recreation in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, you can have marijuana as long as it's for yourself.
They just can't sell it there.
Yeah, well, they may not allow you to sell it, but you can go into a recreational shop and buy it.
You can grow your own.
Not in Colorado Springs, you can't. In Manitou, you can.
Yeah, listen, Monty, you can't grow it or sell it there.
I don't think
I'm not.
he shouldn't have any more marijuana.
But you can buy it, Monty. You can.
Who shouldn't?
You can buy it, Monty. You can buy recreational weed, and you
I should not have to go and pay $23 a gram at Maggie's Farm.
Holy moly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you need your medical marijuana card. I don't know how to help you with it. I really don't. They haven't given you a reason?
I filed it in small claims court, and the Attorney General's office intervened and dismissed it.
Okay.
And they're threatening to charge me with harassment if I call the governor's office or the Attorney General's office.
All right.
They're threatening to charge me
Monty,
with harassment.
can I ask you
Get a
something?
lawyer.
Monty.
Get a lawyer on disability money, they said.
Monty, the very first time that you applied for a medical card, where did it go wrong?
The first time it didn't. I used to get them.
And then what happened?
Mark won't tell me nothing. He keeps interrupting my phone calls, and then they tell me you appealed too late.
You had
too late. Bye-bye. Try again.
Well, I'm going to have Deputy Clint call for you. I'm serious. We'll call and ask him. I just want one question. And no, I'm serious. Monty might get off on the wrong foot. Maybe he's not communicating. All we want to say is, what does he need to do to get his card? It's that simple. I mean, they should be able to tell him where the hang-up is. And we're not going to harass him. We simply want to know what is the procedure. I mean, I don't know what happened. What do you think happened? Something went wrong.
Yeah, he's a Looney Tune, and they don't want to deal with him. He's probably called him 800 times. He's filing lawsuits against him.
We have Melinda Mackey with us, the income organizer, and I asked, if you don't make any more money, can you be better off just by organizing? So what's the very first thing? You have someone come in. They have a certain amount of money, and what is the very first thing you do? I mean, without getting technical, what's, in general, the very first thing you do after gathering all their information?
The first thing we do is help them create a system to organize their bills.
Like, okay, so you take all of their bills.
Yes, a lot of people are on auto pay.
Right.
And because their checking account balance is generally at zero, a lot of bank fees are being assessed.
So how do you recommend they do it?
So I recommend for the first year to not be on auto pay.
Okay.
Get in control of all your bills so that you know when they're due and pay them accordingly. When you have...
On a calendar, do you put it?
Yeah, we do all... It depends on the person.
Do you have software?
You can do that. You can do a spreadsheet.
I mean, what do you provide other than advice? Do you have any products like spreadsheets or anything, or do you simply let them use what they're comfortable with?
That's what I do. Everybody likes something different. Some people like spreadsheets. Some people don't like paper. Some people want to be maybe on a program, online, or it all varies with people. So I let them choose what they want to do, but I help them get it organized and stop the auto pays so it stops the NSF fees.
Are there a lot of NSF fees
Yes,
for people?
we have to budget those in until the people are under control.
It's that bad that they don't even have the money coming out accurately, so they get extra charges.
All it takes is a paycheck to be skipped for any reason, and companies sometimes don't pay on the date they say they will. And that will throw people into NSF charges one after the other.
So how do you break that cycle?
I teach them, for one thing, get under control. Don't let auto pays take care of your bills for you. So we get under control with that.
And we pay the bill when you have the money.
Yes.
On the due date.
Yes.
And then what?
And then we get them on a budget so that they are planning their paycheck before they get it.
So when they get their paycheck, do they put money aside, or what do they do as far as their bills?
Yes, I'll take 1 month at a time. I'll say, how much are you making this month? And they'll say, I'm bringing in $5,000.
Right.
Your bills are $5,000. Okay.
So what do you do?
So we're going to go ahead and set up a system so that we are cutting some things back so we can start putting some money in the account that will not be spent until it's time to spend it. So we will take cash out and say for groceries.
Right.
So we're going to spend $300 this month on groceries.
Right.
So we're going to put that in cash so you can't go over. These categories where people are spending way too much money, such as groceries, clothing, coffee.
Because they're not budgeted.
Yeah, they're going over all the time.
All right, so you just have an amount and they stick to it.
Yes.
And that in the beginning is enough to get them out of trouble.
You know what kills me is I'd much rather have someone like her in our high schools teaching our juniors and seniors
rather than doing it when it's too late.
No, but they're in there learning pottery. Who cares about pottery? Let's teach them real world.
I know. Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, if you want a free evaluation of a hearing device or you want to try out tinnitus treatment, they are the ones that do it. It's Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center. They were at the forefront of tinnitus research, and they were there for me. I have hearing devices from them. I love them, and I urge you to give them a call. No obligation for a trial period when it comes to hearing aids. 303-534-0163. 303-534-0163. Helpforringing.com.
Weight off the foot. Tall enough. Yeah.
It seems so hot. I wonder how my foot was.
That guy lost his shit on me about you.
Which one? Marijuana?
Yeah, he's like, that motherfucker calling me a loony. I said,
That's
bye-bye.
why, this is why he's getting in trouble.
So I didn't get the info. I'm not
Make
going
some
to
sativa.
someone who's screaming.
Smoke some
Also, we have to be out of here by 1:03 today.
Okay. Who's in it? I like these crazy calls. They're kind of fun.
Yeah, but I didn't like he's screaming and
No,
cussing. He's like, that motherfucker's calling me a Looney Tune, and I don't appreciate that.
He is a Looney Tune.
Yeah.
Call him back.
With Eric.
Tell him I changed my mind. Get him back on.
Scream about him.
Hey, Dan, is this the new official sign for tinfoil hat?
I've never seen a tinfoil hat.
Well, I'll bring some in. So
You can wear. I'm not
I'll bring
going to
some
wear
aluminum
one.
foil in.
But now the guy will probably file a lawsuit on us, so small claims on us for Mark calling him a Looney Tune.
Oh, good. I want to go.
In my opinion, he's a Looney Tune.
Melinda, I had heard very recently that some small percentage of the population, like 5% of the population, could raise $500 in 2 days.
It's bad.
Is it really that?
I charge for 3 sessions with me. I charge $400,
Okay.
which is really minimal.
Well, you'll save them that much.
I can't tell you how many people that make over 100,000 do not have the $400 all up front. They have to pay me in 2 sessions. It's that
Make
bad.
over
So it is
100
true.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, it just seems so common sense, but
Yeah, but I heard like 1% or I can't remember this. There's a pretty big percent that couldn't raise $100 in a day, but could raise $500 in 2 days.
boy, listen to how many people that don't have 10 grand in their retirement account
Right.
that are over 50.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
that last year.
Well, I don't have it in a retirement account, but it's downstairs in a bunch of silver in a safe.
Well, it is. That's retirement.
Yeah, I know.
It's scary when you start talking to people, and they get very upset when I work with them. A lot of tears are shed. I
Really?
feel like I'm a counselor. They're in
Oh,
my
yeah, I'm
office.
sure. What Mark is saying is true, and we've talked about this, is what they learn in high school is crazy when they should be learning this stuff.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Uh,
The electives they have nowadays are just,
Yeah.
Someone told me they actually took bowling in college. I forgot who told me.
Yeah, I got a granddaughter still took bowling.
In college. If I fucking saw a bill that I'm paying for credits for bowling, I'd kill my children.
That she gets her physical education credits for anything.
I can do $2 bowling on Mondays
Yeah.
at that bowling place.
Excuse me. Can you give me 5 minutes after the show to put Addie's stuff in your car for sparring? Because I have it in my truck.
Of course, sparring. Taekwondo sparring.
Oh yeah. Just
Cool.
yeah.
Oh, cool. Imagine paying for that. How about my tax dollars paying for that?
Well, that's what I say. I mean, just doing a lease, for a rental lease, kids need to know.
Or how to buy a car.
Or how to buy a car,
Or how not to co-sign for some friend.
Hey!
How much did Addie's personality change
And after my
getting
son.
into Taekwondo and sparring?
She's been in it since she's been 4.
Oh, well.
There's no, I mean, the change would be after she's out of it.
You want to fight her?
Because I've had so many girls that have gotten into it. They have low self-esteem
No,
problems.
we treated it like school. She had to, I mean, they
Low
went 3-4
self-esteem,
times a
bullying
week.
problems, just
14 years.
incredible thing that helps girls to get them into Taekwondo. They learn respect. They learn chivalry, which most
No,
girls
I
don't.
can't
They also
believe-
have to have a job at 16. The day Miles turned 16, he got it at Walmart, and he's still there.
But I can't believe people go to Starbucks and think nothing of spending $5-6 a day. on a
Well,
fucking-
when
it's
they only make X amount.
No, she says these people are making $100 grand. What I'm saying is they do that, but they don't realize what they're doing.
Yeah.
It adds up a lot. Americans are ruining credit trying to build it.
Kids need braces. When I heard about the new
And then,
it was crazy.
you know, the people that say
They teach them nothing, though. That's the problem.
Absolutely not.
The fact you were in business is scary. I mean, seriously, some of this stuff is so basic.
So
but
basic.
Most of us went through it.
Well, or it's just common sense.
Yeah.
You only spend what you got.
Oh, wait a minute.
But you don't know any of
That's
that.
against the rules.
See, I never got into like a bad car loan or a bad lease or co-sign. I never got into any of those issues. So you're right. There is common sense somewhere, right?
But
Well,
you want it to you.
But trust, co-signing is a trust thing.
The
You trust
instant
your son,
gratification
which is
thing,
a-
too, that they can't
trust
wait
his friend.
for,
Well, you know,
wait for stuff.
That's killing us.
you could have had a
I
girlfriend.
had to wait 7
She wanted
years
to co-sign
living off my
loans
wife's
for her.
nursing
I'm saying
That's what
that-
she's doing for me.
because I didn't make any income.
Hey, man, we've all got rules.
Because the last day the guys got their last paycheck, so how the income comes in.
There might be
But
some
you can find
co-signing,
people that will wait a month on stuff nowadays, you know,
or there might be a promise of co-sign.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they won't.
Change my mind.
People I've worked with, it changed their life.
If they learn it.
their marriage, it has saved their marriage.
I believe that.
Hi, Tom Martino here. I hope you never need Joe Lazara, a criminal defense attorney, whether you get a DUI or you're accused of shoplifting or something. It's a terrible thing. Joe Lazara won't judge you. He'll simply help you through the system. Now, when it comes to DUIs, it's preventable totally with Uber and Lyft and other things, but Lazara says, you know, sometimes it's not, that's not the case. Some people just try to calculate, and they calculate wrong. Listen, it's one of the things that you can prevent if you're ever in trouble. Pass his name along if you're in trouble or someone else you know. 303-429-6200. 303-429-6200. Joe Lazara. He's on my referral list at referralist.com. Okay, so we have a comment on that marijuana call from Chris. Go ahead, Chris. What's your comment?
Yeah, a few things I wanted to say. You know, first of all, for that guy, there's a physicians group called Relaxed Clarity.
Yeah.
And there's a group of physicians that are activists for patients of medical marijuana.
Yeah.
They help people with the listed problems accepted for marijuana to be diagnosed.
Yeah.
And this year, just so you know, Tom, you said it was they handed out like candy. That's not true. This year they got even more stricter, and you have to have your own doctor, including one of these advocate physician doctors, both look at you, and you have to release your medical documents to the state of Colorado.
Okay. Well, you know, I mean, listen, Chris, I don't, you know, I have no interest in this medical marijuana thing except to help people if they're being treated unfairly. Other than that, it's just like any other medication. I don't really talk about medications. Suzanne, what did you want to say?
Hey, Tom, I just wanted to update our listeners that I'm not going to be helping that marijuana guy out because he cussed at me about Mark.
He got crazy, and I think he has a temper, and I think that's why they told
exactly what I was saying. They're trying to deal with that down there. Why would they have to deal with that? Looney Tune, in my opinion.
I have an email for Atlas. What are the biggest, they want to know, with the tax change, is there anything they need to be doing other than withholding? I mean, what do they need to be doing in 2018 to take maximum advantage of any of the new tax laws? Is there anything?
There really isn't a whole lot to do because, frankly, for individuals, there aren't a lot of changes. But for business owners, there might be a drop in their taxable income. So
but they don't have to really do anything. Is it advantageous to buy anything, or are there any new
Those laws haven't changed
with
buying stuff.
Nothing.
Nothing. For the individual, there's not a huge lot of changes, frankly.
And what about for businesses?
Businesses, there's some very complex things happening with S-Corps and a possible 20% deduction.
Yeah, what is that? I was going to ask that, Eric. Last time you were in, no one knew what that meant.
Yeah. We've got a little bit more clarity for people with S-Corps and LLCs. You can probably get about a 20% deduction, which is a weird thing. It shows up
for what?
Because they gave corporations a tax cut from 35% to 21%. The small business owners of the universe lobbied to say, what about people that own S-Corps and LLCs? And to that point, there is a 20% across-the-board deduction of your pass-through income if you meet certain criteria.
What's the criteria? This is big news.
Yeah. Number one,
big news.
Your family income on your tax return for a married couple has to be under $320,000, or for an individual.
I liked your groan over there.
So basically, it phases out between $325 and $425. So if you're making a whole bunch of money, it goes away.
That's still going to be most LLCs and S-Corps, right?
That's true. Most people...
Oh, come on, Mark. I think there are a lot of even small businesses...
I said most.
Even small businesses that make...
We're talking income, not sales.
Yeah.
So, okay,
for a small business, let's say that's making net income of $50,000, $100,000, they may get a 20% if they're in a service industry. Maybe a 20%.
That's huge.
What if you have an LLC? Okay, what I'm saying is they don't judge the LLC; they judge the owner. In other words,
pass-through income.
What if the LLC's pass-through income is less than a certain amount? That LLC gets a deduction?
Yeah. No, they created something nobody's ever heard before called qualified business income, which they say that's income coming out of an S corp to your personal return.
I understand.
If also they want to make sure you're paying some wages, so it's not all just.
But let me give you a scenario.
Yeah.
A guy has 3 LLCs.
Yeah.
2 of them make hardly anything.
Right.
1 of them makes a lot.
It's going to be all combined.
It's all combined to look at what's your personal income at your personal tax return.
So basically, what if your personal income is over 300, everything is phased out.
About 400, you said.
Right, 300 to 400, it goes away.
Right. But think of that. Most people are going to get a 20%, not 20% savings, but deduction
it's a great
right off the top.
Hey, Daniel, what is your question?
Hey, my question is, I received a disbursement for the Rocky Flats settlement, and I didn't know if that was, do you claim it as personal income or?
No,
we have had this question so many times.
We've been told it is a law that is not taxable.
It's damages,
It's
so
not
therefore it's
income.
money you should have had.
Right. It's a damage. You got a settlement. What was your settlement for? You lived there, right?
Yeah, actually, I ended up with two checks. My father's estate, he had.
Right, because you own a home there, right?
How much was it? I'm curious.
Well, we split it between all of our
No, how much was the lumps? Not what you split.
It was only about $2,500.
And what is it for, Tom? Is it for because the property value was decreased, or is it for health reasons? I don't even get it.
I think it's loss of value, Daniel.
Loss of value, yeah, because you're only getting a check if you own property during.
It's loss of value during that period, which means it's not taxable because presumably you lost it. 303-713-TALK. Now, David, you say your gym is passing politics on you, or what? Pushing politics?
Well, yeah. I can explain to you the situation, Tom.
Okay, why don't you hold on? Because I wanted to talk about something too relating to a gym. At our gym, they will only allow certain channels to be played on the community TV, which I found really weird. We'll talk about that. The Raleigh House is a serious treatment addiction facility, and it's premier. It's evidence-based. They have medical staff. They have counselors. They have a loving staff. But this commercial is not to get you to sign up to the Raleigh House, although you may want to, or you may have someone who needs it. This is what it's about. They have a line. It's not a crisis line. It's an information line for you to call with information you may need about addiction. For example, how do I know there is an addiction with my brother, sister, husband, wife? What do I look for? And if there is an addiction, what do I say to them? What kind of rehab is available or treatment? And what does it cost? And does insurance cover it? How long does it take? What options do I have? How do I get them to come in? How do I get them to talk to you? Will you call them? Any questions you have, this is a caring, loving staff on the phone with confidential information, immediate information, no obligation ever. Give them a call if you have any questions at all about addiction. That's what it's about. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. Remember, addiction by itself will never just get better. You need some kind of help or some intervention of some kind. Do it for your loved ones. 720-893-5559.
Colorado has all the news channels blocked out with parental guidance on the lobby TV.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, you can't get a news channel.
What's that?
Marijuana.
What about it?
Is
that the one that calms you down?
Well, these are payments?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. It's a $5 bill?
Oh, you know what my wife found out?
Thank you.
Our new stainless steel refrigerator magnets do stick to it, so God, it's going to be a mess again.
Oh, yeah. The stainless, I don't think it's really stainless steel, otherwise it wouldn't stick.
Well, it depends on what.
There's metal behind it. If it is
Like there's different alloys of stainless too. Like the 3 Series 321, you won't stick.
Yeah, it's probably a higher percentage.
Yeah, I love chrome. Well, that's a $20 bill, Chuck. That's pretty.
I got 5.
You got robbed.
You get 100?
Mine's a 5.
Oh, I've got 100 or 10 if you
You know, it's illegal to chop up
You want 100?
U.S. 10.
Thank you. Trade you for a 20. That's a good deal. I got 100.
I have another 100.
Sativa. Is that the one that knows? Yeah.
I got right now. I don't know which one is whatever and stuff.
Question, Eric. My wife and I don't know what our income's going to be on half of it every year. because
I said hi from the back.
we have a bunch of airplane radios. We know what that is. We have rental phones. In fact, Tom has been one of the That's fixed.
Okay, so where do you work? Do much here?
Kind of flips. We do build things as Airbnbs. And we don't know whether we're going to sell it.
Oh, look, here's the turnaround. Oh, no, not quite yet.
To the end of the year until we see how it does.
I don't know what.
Look at that. What stock
We
is
may
it?
have no
I have no idea.
because we all went.
I know, it's the most insane ride.
Because it's so long.
Yeah,
I'll guarantee it doesn't scratch the
average anymore. It's called.
Yeah, I don't know. I say
you can fill out an extra form to say when you earned the money. If it wasn't regularly over the year, if it was like way to the end, there's an extra form you can fill out to say all this was earned in the third or fourth quarter, which will change the calculation of what you owed on the first half. So there is a way to sort of, it's called quarterly specification type of deal, which helps address
A lot of times
we'll go
parents that
maybe
do very well with money
10 months, put more money into it.
So they call me to be that third person.
You know what? I say that because they think it's just common sense and don't just realize this.
Right.
Spouses do it too.
But yeah, you can just kind of fill out an extra form to say, this is what you actually earned in a year.
I got to talk because we got penalized.
So that you're both happy.
You might want to talk to
And then,
whoever
and then it actually makes the person
clarified it was not earned evenly over the course of the year.
A lot of years we had to use price waterhouse.
Because they are within their limit.
Because we had such a...
Oh, I see. I see. So you got a limit, and then they say, hey, look at me.
Yeah, and the other
Yeah, remember,
because they've got a
as
limit.
close as you can get here to 9.
Amazing though that it's got to be like that. Because I didn't realize.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go over stuff. Ted and I get all that.
I think he's gonna, he might bring up that whole other champion.
She just wanted to go over and convert a lot of
But they did agree, well, they're not gonna say exclusive anymore, is my understanding, so if he asks about that.
By the way, I had never allowed
I'm amazed by that.
What do you mean?
with Champion. I never said it to her out. I never knew that.
I looked for a contract, we don't even have one, so I don't even.
Well, we did have one, so.
Maybe. Well, remember, you used to have just yearly, so I mean, there might have been a old one, I don't know. I got this guy, so I got a big cement deck. It's like this thick cement, it's really nice, but it's got some cracks in it. So you know that stuff?
It's suspended above ground, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And it's poured over,
plywood.
What do you see underneath it?
Plywood.
You see plywood?
Yep, and then probably 4 inches, maybe 5 inches.
I had the concrete, but it was suspended concrete. No, it's illegal. It was a structural slab.
Yeah, this you actually see. If I'm in the hot tub and look up.
It's weird because on plywood, it flags the crack. That would be structural in and of itself.
I don't think it ever cracked until the house was vacant.
Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show.
Pro Auto Care is your car nanny. What do I mean by that? It's very simple. You need something done, they give you gentle email reminders based on maintenance suggested by the manufacturer, and it's really cool. So it's like you have someone looking over your car all the time for oil changes, maintenance required by the manufacturer. Then, of course, if you have an emergency, you call them and get right in. And between every kind of appointment you have, roadside assistance free. So when you're part of the Pro Auto family, the Pro Auto Care family, you're taken care of, even if you're on the road. I used them once, the emergency roadside assistance, and that's 36,000 miles, so it's in between virtually every single repair or maintenance call. 303 Pro Auto, 2 locations, near Evans on I-25, near Bowles and Santa Fe. 303 Pro Auto, and the website 303proauto.com. Okay, 303-713-TALK. We have an opening here, David wants to talk about his gym pushing politics. My gym basically said you can't have the TV on unless it's just sports. They don't want any of the political shows on.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What about you?
I've been going to this gym for over 6 years now, and there's not like a membership fee or anything. You just book individual training appointments with the trainer.
Oh, mm-hmm.
And I emailed the owner last week, and my email was blocked for some reason. So I emailed an assistant trainer, and he never responded to that email to book a training appointment. So I sent out a third email, and it went to a general staff
He doesn't
member.
like you. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, I'm getting there.
He's breaking up with you.
Yeah, so I sent a third email, and it went to a general staff member who booked me an appointment on Monday. So I did get in, and I mean, I was basically scoffed at and basically ignored during the whole training appointment.
Why? Why? Yeah, why?
So I called the owner to ask him, what's the problem with the service, and then he never called me back.
All right, get to it. Okay, now you have us curious, so get to it. What is it?
Okay, so they push their progressive politics on all of the clients.
How do they push them? How?
Oh, well, they complain about Trump.
Yeah.
And they talk about all the great policies of the Democrats. And I just try to...
That's become fashionable to slam Trump. It's very fashionable.
I think they put signs in the window, right?
Yeah, so, yeah, I'm getting to that.
Like
so
Black Lives Matter.
Well, that's not political, really. Black Lives Matter. I mean, that's...
Oh.
That's pretty political.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So, I just usually try to ignore it because I don't want to get into any discussions anyways.
Sure.
But yeah, so there's a sign in the window, and it says, things like, Black Lives Matter, women's right to choose. It's got, these 5 platitudes on the sign.
Okay.
So I made some comment in passing, and one day I thought it was annoying to come in and see that.
Okay.
So that, I've been, going through my mind to think of what could have triggered this
Just
change
don't go there anymore.
So, yeah, why would you go there if you're not wanted?
Exactly. Well, I do feel that way, but then I also feel like they shouldn't be able to treat customers.
I don't think they should either. And I've had this discussion a million times with people, and that is this, that if we knew what everyone we deal with, how they believe, we would have a very limited circle because we just don't usually probe that far. For example, let's say you have a great mechanic, you love him, and then one day you're there and he's bashing the hell out of somebody you like. Not even politics. It might be a movie star. It might be something. It might just be a way of life. And he might be saying, I can't stand homosexuals. They're creepy. And you never heard that before. You didn't care. Like, I just want you to fix my car. Or you go somewhere and they're bashing Trump. And or you're getting your hair cut and they say, well, we're living under supreme, whatever. It's unbelievable to me how many people think they have to express themselves when it's not the time or place. If you're cutting my hair, I don't care what your politics are. Just shut up. I mean, I don't preach to you. Don't preach to me. I agree with you.
The ones that drive me nuts are the ones with the bumper stickers that spell out their entire life like that.
It just, I think it's wrong. I just do, and I don't know what else to say. But you can't stop it. If people want to have political opinions, I like what our club did. Our club said we don't want political discussions, and we'd rather not have those TV shows on. So I there's nothing, the long and short of it is there's nothing you can do about it. What'll happen is the free market will take care of it. The free market will take care of it. It's that simple. We have a lot more going on. I want you to stick around. And we have Eric Reinemer from Atlas and Atlas Financial Advisors and CPAs. We also have Melinda, a new member of the referral list. If you want to know more about her, it's the Income Organizer. Stick around.
Take it like it is.
Something like a franchise model like McDonald's. You will almost...
Would you like one? Yes.
What was your wallet like? And our place at the waiting room I was at, now that you can't get the news stations on the TVs in the waiting rooms now. Because they want to avoid that problem.
Are you really not going to help the marijuana guy?
I hung up on him. He was livid.
If he wants to call back, I'll at least answer his question.
I'm not a nut. I'm not angry. I am not an angry nut. Fuck!
I want to belong to the Tinfoil Hat Club, so I'm not going to get there without going to the meeting.
You got to start smoking pot.
If he calls back, I'll give him the number. He was
people
so
that start
nasty.
telling you they're not an angry nut. Angrily. That's usually the first clue.
Why they don't get anywhere with anybody.
Exactly.
I don't know how many times I've called.
So is
work out with somebody and they said,
mild
"Well, they're
sativa,
cussing me out."
which is the one that makes
They got a long way
you
that
mellow? Which is
I don't know. Do you not know what a badger is? It's a Wisconsin.
I know it. I was trying to.
I was going to ask him about cheese curds.
I'm from Minnesota. I know it.
I didn't know a badger was a rodent. I looked them up. They look like a skunk.
But they're immune.
Are they?
It is a
God, it is a badger, yeah.
I'm going to do brought to you by Fix It 24/7.
But is this what's the mild marijuana that puts you to sleep?
I don't know. I'll get you both.
The
I'll
green
buy
one.
you both, and
The
you
green
tell
kind.
me.
The green.
God,
It's green or dried.
it's a guy across my sister raises something that they have to raise at 55 degrees. It is so, yeah, they have to have expensive air conditioners on this building run year round.
Live in Washington.
No, I don't think it's 55. I think it's 70.
No, this is 55. I've talked to them. It's 55 degrees.
About 55 degrees.
They have to raise some type of marijuana. There's so much. The menu is incredible in this stuff now of what they grow.
Because they normally got air conditioning because all the lights.
Yeah, the grow lights would be too. But now with the LED grow lights, they don't make any heat.
Oh, they do make heat.
The LED ones,
They still make
Not as much, not
Yeah.
near as much. But man,
I've never grabbed an LED bulb yet that was.
neither have I. But if you have all that concentration,
well, that color and stuff.
Yeah.
Different. It's a different light. It's not.
it's not.
You know, when you buy headlights that are LED, you actually choose your color.
Yeah,
You know,
the
they have
frequency.
blue and white, and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's the frequency of it. The higher the frequency, the more it goes toward blue.
Yeah, like mine was like 4,000. I'm like, what the hell's that mean? And sure enough, that's like a blue color or something.
Amazing stuff, though. God,
Remember the xenon lights first came out? They are so bright, such a pain in the ass.
My dad
So
says.
now they're LED lights, headlights.
Yeah, mine are.
They're LED. Wow, that's hardly any voltage.
Right.
Hey, is that a faucet running? Nope.
Remember that
Not a
lamp?
faucet.
Does your-
It's a river rushing through the forest. It is? Yeah. Forest rivers provide over 100 million.
Remember those landing lights that were so expensive?
Yeah, I guess. Make sure we don't have the
What?
carpet
I
doctor
can't
on.
eat it because of the vacuum. That's not a vacuum. That's the trees in the forest.
What do you mean carpet
Air
doctor?
we breathe.
Remember those landing lights that were so expensive?
Zero
Those
as long as
landing lights that were real expensive and didn't last more than like about 5 or 6 hours.
Cool.
Now they're,
I
huh?
know that.
5 or 6
Yep.
hours.
Yeah, 5 or 6 hours. When students driving going around the pattern with a thing on, you're watching your money go down.
I never knew any lights that lasted only 5 or 6 hours. Really?
Yeah, the little ones on some of the Cessnas had real low times. They were like $100 for the bulb.
I don't know why.
Just for you.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I don't know. Anyway, they're replaced with an LED now.
Yeah.
Go to discover the forest.
It never burns out. It's not any more expensive than the stupid.
They are cool.
They were quartz. They were quartz lights that they had on. So bad.
They should build a dome. Did you guys ever watch that show, The Dome? Where they built the dome over the city?
Like Black Mirror.
I can't believe you didn't watch
How
that.
many seasons?
They had one full season.
Oh, that's it. Is it good?
It was a good, but it sucked because they left you. No one knew where the dome came from. They woke up and they were in the dome. The army's outside of
It's like
them.
a city.
Yeah, it was a whole city.
So they only did a season. They didn't
Yeah, and you never knew why they were in the damn dome.
did another season after that.
I don't think they ever did.
Okay.
I hate those kinds of series. I've had series.
I thought he did pretty good,
Throw
too.
out emails from
That's how the aliens will contain us.
Christie's.
Land on top of us.
Who's that?
The guy from Christie's.
What's he want now?
I don't know. My son was there. I'm sending to you.
Yeah, he went to the TV stations. Did they do anything with him?
I got a question about the dome around the edges. It had to crush somebody.
Tom, if you saw this job, when he pointed, the two things he pointed out was the caulking around the drain in the shower, and then where the hoses go into the back of the washer. I had to literally stand up on his washer to see what he was talking about, and I looked back there. I'm
These
like,
were the complaints.
yeah, and I'm like,
major
this,
remodel.
if this is crooked.
Got an email.
I mean, I'm sitting
What
there,
is he saying?
and the kitchen looked beautiful. It looked beautiful.
What does he want? Money back?
Oh, yeah. Well, he wants them to finish off.
He owed them a little bit of money. I had this whole, I'm telling you, I had the whole thing worked out, and he just went crazy at
They
the
were
end.
both mad. I was mad.
Christie's was more upset than I think they were.
Isn't he a nightmare though? He couldn't be pleased.
Oh my God.
You get that every once in a while.
Yeah. I think that Kim was a perfect.
But why they put, if you have a house that's 300, 250, I don't know, 300, why you would put 300 in it is amazing. They outbuilt in that neighborhood. I guarantee that house.
It was right next to the freeway.
Literally right next to 36 or whatever it was. I'm telling you, that house is probably double the value of any other house in that neighborhood. But because of that, it probably doesn't carry that value.
Hello, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This hour brought to you by Fix-It 24/7. I'm a consumer advocate. We help. Spread it around. 303-713-TALK. We help 24/7 at 303 Martino. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live on the iHeartRadio app, live across the country on those. And we are live, of course, on our flagship KHOW in Denver, 630 on the AM dial. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have some good stuff going on today. Hey, if you want to get your furnace checked out and tuned up for real, you know what the number one killer of a furnace is? The number one killer. Dirt. Seriously. On the heat exchanger, on the burners, everywhere. It really is. You really need a cleaning, and when they say tune up, it does nothing if they don't clean it. If they don't clean it, forget the furnace check, okay? They just want to come in and find something wrong. Now, Fix It 24/7, if they find something wrong, they will write it up for you. You have no obligation, but they will take the time to remove everything they can from that furnace, including burners. If they can take out the blower motor, they'll clean everything. They'll make it look and run like new. They'll make adjustments free of charge. They will make sure it's humming along. They check the thermostat, all for $39. It's unbelievable what they do for $39. And again, if you ever have anything wrong, they'll be totally honest and upfront with you on that, with the best prices anywhere. 720-526-3939. 720-526-3939. Now, you have to limit this. They told me to 10 callers only. They can't do more than those. So they did 10 yesterday. They might do 10 tomorrow. I don't know. But it depends on the ebb and flow of business. So it's only 10. So don't get mad if you're not one of the 10. 720-526-3939 for that $39 deal. Let's keep going, okay? We have the income organizer with us from the referral list. This is a new member, and what she does is really just help you organize. We have Eric Reinemer from Atlas Advisors and CPAs, which help out businesses and individuals as well. I mean, individual taxpayers go to you, right, as an accounting firm?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Steve has a question for Melinda, or for anyone, maybe Eric. Go ahead, Steve.
Hi, Tom.
What's your question?
Well, my question is this. I recently became involved in my parents' financial situation. My father is facing a possible diagnosis of cancer, and my mother just had heart issues. They're getting up in age.
Okay.
I want to find out the best way that I might be able to help them to, first of all, use their money and plan it so that they can have income, but secondly...
How old are they right now?
My mom is 76. My dad is 83. And they actually asked me to do this. I just went home because...
Well, it's kind of late to plan for income if they don't have do they have a nest egg already?
Yeah, I don't mean plan for future income. I mean plan with their money that they have to be able to make money off of it.
How much do they have right now?
In cash, they probably have around $300,000. And they own a duplex that's worth approximately $200,000.
And that duplex is paid off?
Yes.
And how this is the best market to sell it. It's not going to get much higher. I mean, it will get higher, but I mean, if anything, it could correct downward. Are they willing to sell it, or does it produce good income above expenses?
We've talked about that. I think the best thing to do with the duplex right now is to keep it.
What does it produce in income?
They rent out one side of it, and it's about $900 a month.
And what do they do with the other side?
They live in it.
Oh, well, then that's totally, of course, I understand that completely now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So
my big question is how to keep if they end up in a situation where they need government assistance, what can we do now to keep the government from getting their savings?
Nothing, unless they do it legally and ethically, and there's a 5-year look back. What they can do,
Yeah,
and this
that's my point,
is one of the few times I would recommend a reverse mortgage, because they can mortgage that thing to the hilt, take out money, and the lien they put on it is way more than the actual loan. They can get a lump sum of cash, and it accrues against the house, and they can never take anything more than the house.
You're assuming they can split that deed, or in other words, that duplex is 2 different units because they won't allow a reverse on rental property.
You're right. It's a duplex.
And actually, this
You're right,
particular duplex, they can't sell half the duplex.
No, I'm just wondering if they would allow a reverse.
Right.
Hey, can you ask someone a reverse mortgage question? If you live in half of a duplex, can you get a reverse mortgage on the whole thing? Could you ask Joan if she's around? Okay, that's one thing. Okay, guys, our experts, what do you guys think? They have $300,000 basically, not a lot of money, but they're pretty old. What do they do? And by the way, if they do need extended care, Medicare will pay, but you're not talking about Medicare because they're not going to go into your money. Medicaid will. If you want the government to pay 100%, the way it's supposed to work is you use your money first and then you use the government's money, but Medicare would help right away.
They could gift the money to the kids, but I mean the kids would have to spend it, so they can't claw it back.
I want to give you an example of one of the better ones. Okay, Golden Orchard. Okay, they have an assisted living facility where you have your own room and couples can go there, and I'm not suggesting they go there now, but that costs, what did they say that costs? Around $4,000. That includes all meals.
Everything.
That includes everything.
They even allow pets.
So if you simply do the math, that's about the least expensive you'll ever find. I mean, right now they have openings. They're a wonderful place. Nursing homes can cost eight to 10. What's that?
I'm sorry to interrupt. Who would you recommend? Because I think I'm in a situation where I probably need to talk with a financial advisor, sit down with them, and somebody that understands, like you mentioned, way of.
I do have people.
The 5-year look back and all that.
But here's the problem.
Okay.
Just frankly, they're old and they only have $300,000. There's not a lot you can do with that money to put it at risk to make enough money to live on. I mean, it's kind of late in the game to start planning this. So I can give you some financial planners, but they're going to be afraid to do anything that has more than moderate risk. I mean, the most you might be able to get on that is 4% maybe. I mean, I don't know where you can get a better return without risking it. And they can't stand volatility right now at that age.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
So I can recommend really good people, but they're going to be afraid to do anything. I mean, they're not going to do anything daring. It's not like they can turn that into $600,000. Now let's talk. I mean, you could go to Vegas and do one on the roulette wheel for $300,000, and they either bust or they and then guess what? If they win, they got $600,000. If they don't, they're eligible for Medicaid because that's a legitimate expense. They would literally consider that legitimate. You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding. There are people that have done that.
I bet.
They want to know how to spend down their money. They don't have enough to live on, yet they don't have enough. They have too much to spend it quickly. You go to Vegas, you put it on the roulette, you either double it or you walk away with nothing.
And Uncle Sam's not going to claw it back from a casino.
No, they don't claw back. That's a legitimate expense, believe it or not. So, what would you, other than going to Vegas, what would you recommend? Let's talk. What would you, Melinda? What would you recommend for people in their, 83 and 76 with $300,000?
Well, one of my questions would be is, are they living within their means? And do they know what that means should be?
Yes, they are.
They do have a budget.
All right. Then in that case, I do like Tom's suggestion of going and talking to an investment advisor, even though they might not be able to earn a lot.
I'm putting you on hold only because whatever you're doing, I don't know what you're doing. If you're working out or whatever, it's making a lot of noise. Go ahead, Melinda.
Okay. I do like that suggestion of Tom's. That's what I would do, is because I wouldn't be able to help them a whole lot.
No, because they would budget. You make sure that they are, truly keeping track of what they have, and perhaps that's still a good idea. What else? Eric, do you have anything that's not a big nest egg?
Well, I like the fact that there's some rental property income. That's a nice supplement to Social Security, which they're on, right?
Yeah, they are. Let me bring them back up. Hold on, Steve. Okay, Steve, you're back.
I took you off my headset.
Oh, okay. There was a lot of noise going on. So, Steve, that income, 900 of it, and they get 900. They certainly must have expenses from time to time, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, what do they really make in a year on that?
What do they make off their income?
Yeah. What do they make off their income property? What do they actually make?
Oh. Well, the $900 a month.
Okay, so they have zero expenses. They get to keep that full $900 a month.
Yeah, they've really been smart financial.
I'm asking you, does anything ever go wrong, or is it new? Do they literally keep 900 times 12? They literally put 10,800 in the bank and never ever have a repair.
Well, I mean, obviously they have repairs.
Well, we need to know. See, this is the funny thing about budgeting. People, this is exactly what Melinda goes through. You have to know exactly what it is. On a 5-year average, what have they made on that rental? What are they really making? Not $900 a month. And we really have to start calculating. And then you have to figure out what return is that on a $200,000 investment. You know, and you have to calculate, could they do better if they sold it? Probably not in this case, because they're also living there. I think it's a brilliant thing that they have. I think it's a good thing that they have. They're living there, plus they're making money.
How do you protect your money? I know you kind of glossed over it. The 5-year look back in
his goal, really what he's asking is how do they
get rid
keep
of
the $300,000 if they go on Medicare?
They can't. No, well, Medicare they can. Medicaid. And here's the other thing. They can't keep the duplex either. So listen, there is a 5-year look back. They don't fool around with it. Steve, the idea of public assistance is for people who need it, not for people who want to give away money and property to their kids. I know that sounds harsh, but that's the truth. I mean, you're supposed to use your money for yourself. And then when you run out, you use the government. But it's not supposed to be your first line of defense. It's supposed to be your second or third. But in this case, I understand what you're asking. And just to make you feel better, everyone asked the same exact question. How do I make myself poor so I can get on Medicaid? That is what you're asking. What do? They have to start spending legitimately that $300,000. Legitimately. They have to start spending it. If they gift it, there is a 5-year look back. There is no look back on legitimate expenses, including gambling. Okay? There is no look back. So if they give you money, they can hand you that $300,000 tomorrow. No taxes due on either of you. Okay? That money is now yours. But they will not claw it back, count it against them for the next 5 years. Make sense?
That does. Do you have a financial advisor that's expert in those types of things?
We have a couple different people. David Salisbury is good at estate planning, meaning he'll let you know what all of the ins and outs of that kind of stuff. And a will, and make sure everything is either transferred properly. And then we have APO Financial, which are good financial advisors. But again, they're not used to this kind of a client. They want a client with discretionary income that have part of their investment life left. Really, your parents are on the withdrawal end right now.
I wonder if they could do an irrevocable trust in one of the kids' names or all the kids' names.
There's still a look back.
So the look, even if it's...
Yeah, because they have to put the money in there.
Well, correct.
So from that date forward, there's a look back. So wait a minute. I think there is.
Mortgage?
What's that?
Did you get an answer on the reverse mortgage on a duplex?
Okay, no, we're getting one of those, and we can bring you back tomorrow, too, if we have to. Their other one, Mark, you're right. We should look at that irrevocable trust. Maybe there is no look back. So David Salisbury, is she there? Let's try to get David Salisbury as well. Hold on a second. We'll go to other callers, and we'll try to figure all of this out. Centeno Schultz is where I recommend for stem cell therapy, and there's some reasons, and you should always demand what I look for and what Centeno Schultz fulfills. First, they have MDs, real doctors. Now, I don't want to slight chiropractors. They're good for what they do. But when they open up stem cell clinics and have nurses do shots, and they bring in this fake fluid they call stem cells, it's not the way to go. You need real MDs, registered nurses, guided injections, and living stem cells. It's that simple. Centeno Schultz has been doing it from the beginning with 14,000 patients they have treated for shoulders, elbows, hands, back, hips, knees, and they can repair most ACL tears. Call for an evaluation. And if you're not eligible for stem cell, they have other therapies available because it's a medical office. 303-963-9201. They're right here in Broomfield. 303-963-9201. Centeno Schultz.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic.
Thursday lunch hour gets underway. I-25.
I wonder in the reverse mortgage world, when someone gets a, let's say a kid lives with his mom that's got a reverse mortgage on the house, and she's 95, and how do they know when she dies? What happens if the kid just buries her in the backyard? I'm not kidding. And then he just lives there forever. And gets her Social Security check. Oh, it does happen. Yeah.
Not all the time, but it happens.
I wonder if banks at some age, they literally, I mean, if someone's listed 110,
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really know.
Well, no, I started thinking the bank has some kind of connection with the title market.
Like trying to save whales.
Do you think the reverse mortgage people, Mark, do you think they do a check on no.
That's what I mean, like almost a well check.
Well, also, if one spouse is younger and the other one is older, that's a complication.
Well, I'm more curious about like a kid living there.
So we need two questions. We need the one. What if the kid moves to the other half of the duplex and they don't hear?
I'm almost sure they're going to say no on a rental unit.
Totally agree there.
Although you would think from the bank standpoint, it might even be a better deal.
Yeah, they got an income coming
Maybe because they're afraid that people on the other side will. What happens if they're in a lease and the other person dies?
Well, I mean,
yeah, think about that. What happens if they did allow a reverse mortgage? The main person dies, so now it becomes the bank. Let's say there's no equity. What happens to the lease on the other side?
well, they can write a thing where the assignment of rents. There's a lot of ways to do that.
When you're at the store and they can
I don't think it would be. I think there's too many issues.
Just Google it. Reverse mortgage.
There's always a assignment of rent. I went through and we didn't actually sit down.
I never heard of one without.
Two of them ended up being super good. One, of course, he's in college now.
I think the bank would be better off in a rental property.
Yeah, I am too, because there's a guaranteed income coming through.
At least better.
I want it. I'm going to spend it.
Kind of house.
And what if you had a second house? So let's say you do a reverse mortgage, but you still have money and you own a second house. How long do you got to technically live in that house each year?
To be your primary residence?
To be your primary.
I don't know if it has to be.
Okay, yeah, maybe it doesn't.
No, we wanted
How do
to
they
know.
know?
Well, exactly. How do they
Yeah,
know?
after 25 years, we finally realized we need to, well, I
Again,
have
these are
14
questions we
license
need to
plans, one
ask.
of them is to stop the spending. And
Every
start
day is a
putting money
learning
away,
experience here.
sell
That's
anything
what I
you
really like.
don't need, use, or love,
I
and
learn
bring
so
some
much
extra
every
money
day.
in and make a plan for it before it gets here.
Things that I
Before the emotion
wisdom.
Oh, I've been a college professor. I like learning.
So calm, but like I say,
It is for you, but you're the unusual
Technical college.
percentage of the population.
Treating, printing, and laser.
You're the 30%.
Hi, Tom Martino here.
Frank Duran, the real estate man. You won't do better than Frank Duran if you're looking to buy real estate. He dogs the market. He goes to expired listings. He goes to recently expired. He just bird dogs like no one else, like things just coming on the market. If you're looking to sell real estate, the same thing. He does outbound marketing as well as listing your home in all the normal sources. Plus, he does great videos and house cleaning, staging. He sells for more in less time. 303-920-1622. Simply the best. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. And a woman asked about this Golden Orchard I mentioned for around $4,000 a month. Now, they also have the option of semi-private rooms where you share, and they also have private rooms. They allow your own furniture as well, and I wanted to mention that, and pets in some areas. So you have to call for details, and they have 3 metro locations, 2 in Centennial and 1 in Wheat Ridge. The number is 303-795-0784. 303-795-0784. See what I mean? Like, we talk about this, the people in our show that advertise are part of the content. That came along because Steve is talking about, his mom and his dad, who are elderly, and we're still trying to get answers about reverse mortgage and estate. Right now, we'll go to Bill. Bill, what's happening with you? You have a comment about the tax change. Are you there, Bill? I don't think he is. Okay, just cut him loose. He said he only saw a $25 difference in his paycheck.
That's right, Tom.
After the tax cut. Did he say what his income was?
I didn't ask.
What do you have to say about that, Eric Reinemer?
That's real common. We heard that starting in February, based on the new tax bill, people will see minor, if they keep their exemptions the same, they'll probably see a small reduction of their taxes withheld to adjust for the fact that everybody's rates are going down a couple of points.
So it's only a minor amount.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Ryan got in trouble a couple of days ago when he got excited about a woman who said, I'm going to make an extra $1.50 a week, and he tweeted it, and well, that's not a whole big... That he retweeted it because what's $1.50 a week?
That's not even a Starbucks coffee.
Yeah.
Nick, what's going on with you, Nick?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Good. What's happening?
Just had a quick question on the sales tax. So, long story short, back in 2014, I won $250,000 off of the Colorado lottery.
Wow. Do you still have any of it?
Well, I have it in equity in my house that I bought.
Good. That's good.
So I was, out of $250,000, I was taxed $72,500.
Okay.
And so had $62,500 to the federal and $10,000 state. Then the next year, I get charged on my taxes, $13,000, which I, put into savings.
Why? Wait. Why were you charged an extra $13,000 the following year?
Well, this is where I kind of got confused.
You only pay income tax on the $250,000 once. So why did you pay, in addition to the $72,500, why did you pay another $13,000?
He must have not paid enough.
What about if it puts me in a different tax bracket?
It doesn't matter. Your tax bracket is figured the day you get it, and that's what you pay on. You should not have paid twice, unless somebody calculated something wrong. So it makes no sense. What you're telling me makes no sense. Did they say it was income tax?
Yes.
So you owed okay. It doesn't make sense. That's all I can say.
I have a thought.
What is it?
That $72,000, is that how much you had withheld from your proceeds?
Yes, they withheld
okay. So I think you had withholding, and then when you filed your return, you ended up having a little bit extra, which you had to pay with your tax return the next year.
Yeah, because you made money during the year, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, it's your normal tax then. You would have owed something.
You just didn't do your taxes right.
Yeah. That's common. So Nick, had you not made this $250,000, okay, you would have had to pay something anyway. And the $72,500 is an estimate when they withhold it. They don't withhold the exact amount.
Right, they withhold a flat percentage, and then you have to deal with any excess when you file your return.
And a lot has to do with how much money you made.
Right.
Does lottery winnings, Eric, tack right on to ordinary income?
That's right. You just add it to whatever else is going on that year.
Yeah, so you had $72,500 plus $13,000, so that would be a total of $85,500, which sounds about right. That sounds about what you should have paid on that.
Okay.
So what you could do, do you have an accountant?
I don't.
You should try to get one. And seriously, I mean, it would be a good idea if you had an accountant.
How much do they want now with taxes and penalties and interest and everything?
Oh, well, this is just going back from 2014, and it just always boggled my mind, why I owed all this money,
So you've paid it?
You paid 34% tax on it, which is right about right. That's what I would have figured. I actually would have figured a little more. You paid 34% in total tax, so there's nothing wrong with it. Charlie, what's happening?
Hey, how you doing today?
You have a comment on Steve's elderly parents, right, man?
Yeah, so, I don't know what Steve does for a living, but, if he started a startup and he took money from his parents, the $300,000, that would be considered a friends and family round. So it'd be considered an investment if that.
It would still there would still be a look back because of the it's not a arm's length transaction.
True, but if the startup failed, then that would be a lost investment.
Well, why would it be lost? You're just assuming it's going to be lost?
Conveniently, yes.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. All right. Well, I say it would
That's
be better.
a wink, wink, and a nod there.
It would be better, literally better to go to Vegas, except his parents would have the money. I see what you're saying. You're saying structure as if they're investing, and then the investment goes south. I don't know.
If they're in good shape, they should take a really nice Viking cruise or something, man.
They should do something and live life. You know, no one says you can't live life. We have time for several more phone calls. Suzanne, were we able to get approval reverse or not? Joan Sullivan?
I'm not having any luck with them or David Salisbury, but I'm still trying,
okay,
Tom.
Then I wonder, as far as reverse loans.
I think Ideal, maybe?
I don't know. Brent Ivinson, do you guys know anything about reverse mortgages?
You know, it's not something that we do. It is a pretty specialized product, and I know in the right situation it is extremely valuable to the consumer.
Yeah, but we were just wondering, do you know, do you have any idea at all if someone lived in a duplex and they rent out half of it, do you have any idea, or would you just be guessing if they could get a loan?
I would be guessing.
Okay.
I can certainly find out from one of our underwriters, but yeah, I would be guessing.
We're just trying to find out for Steve. So on another note, though, if people are buying now, people don't normally think of a mortgage company until after they buy. And you are kind of changing that paradigm a little. Instead of waiting until after you buy and then finding a lender, you guys can help from the beginning.
That's right. You know, go out and get not just pre-qualified, get pre-approved. Go through the entire process. And this is part of what we do with our 3-week closing guarantee. It's competitive out there. There are multiple offers on every property, and there's only one way for you, the consumer, to get out of the bidding war, and that's to get pre-approved and have your loan underwritten ahead of time, because when you make that offer, sellers take note of the fact that you have done all your homework, that you are ready to go, and that all we need is an appraisal, title work, and inspection.
It's like
we're ready to go and we can close.
Like a cash deal. It really is. I mean,
it is. It's just like a cash deal, and we hear that again and again from sellers that choose our offer, and we're having a lot of success even in this very tight market with our offers standing out among others because of our pre-approval process and our 3-week closing guarantee.
It is not pre-qualified. It's not saying if. It's pre-approval, so it's a real deal. 303-867-7000. 303-867-7000. IdealHomeLoans.com. I'll get to all of your calls right after this.
From the Fox Business Network, another wild ride on Wall Street as the volatility continues, with the Dow shedding more than 600 points.
Could qualify for reverse mortgage as long as one of the units is the main residence. Oh, the answer. Great. And it's on the internet, so it's got to be right. That's cool. That's good. If that situation they're in with the rental property on one side, being able to get a reverse mortgage, that's a really great position for people to be in. This even says manufactured homes. They have to be constructed after 1976. Can you imagine going out and doing a reverse mortgage on a 1977 single wide? They get $200. Oh my God! You don't see many of this part of the companies in growth. Oh, here's the big thing: they have to be classified as real estate. They have one more. Yeah, so I mean, it's the majority of people are going to get built. Majority of this time. It has to be on a permanent foundation built to MHA criteria. So the finish rate elevation beneath the manufacturer home or basement is used. The rate beneath the basement shall be at above 100-year return frequency for flood elevation. I don't see a lot of mobile homes. So Chris Christie's not the governor anymore. Is he going to run for Tiger office someday? He was doing something with Trump for a little bit, but when's he going? I don't remember. He was calling on you. Right-hand man, part of the transition team.
Marco still doesn't like it.
Like who?
I don't know what Marco means. I think he likes Trump, actually. Actually, I can't imagine Marco telling her. He likes him better than Flint.
Oh, I'm thinking Marco Bentinelli. You're talking Little Mark.
I'm thinking of a real, man, when he gave somebody a nickname, it stuck. Well, Marco, his father was part of something to do with Castro. I remember, that's what he said. He had part to do with assassination. Well, I learned something on Red Cross. You do not find more patriotic people than Cubans. They live through that mess down there and appreciate this country, really.
Oh, you mean patriotic towards us, America?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Cubans are good.
I still don't understand why he lifted that embargo. They still treat their people like shit. I mean, it's just weird.
Can we travel there? Yeah, I think he still can. He could before. They might have, wasn't it just an executive order again? No, I don't know. I'd love to visit there. Cuba? Yeah. I hear it's like, no, I mean, if it's allowed, I don't want to do it there. Do it like that.
Well, you can go to Mexico and go there.
Yeah, but I'd rather do it with you. Have to take an oath. I think you can go to split your throat down there for $8. Forget about it. I want to go see all the old cars. You know, all the 55 Chevys running around. They all have Isuzu diesels now. Well, the whole place looks like 1950. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so, man. So, Europeans go there all the time.
Hi, Tom Martino here. SentryRV.com. They have a facility now, 32,000 square foot indoor facility in Lakewood, just north of, it's just north of 6th Avenue between Kipling and Sims next to Woodley's. Now, they're still up at 119 turnoff to Longmont and I-25 north of Denver. But this one in Lakewood makes it way more convenient, especially when the weather turns bad, and it has the largest selection of used RVs in the state or really all over. 303-453-1111, SentryRV.com. They're open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Sarah, you said kudos to Ideal. What happened?
They're amazing. I'm looking online, just curious about a neighborhood I've always wanted to buy in, and I found a property up for sale on December 27th.
Yeah.
I went and looked at the property the same day, made an offer. I didn't have my financing in line as Ideal recommends. Get it all in order prior to.
You did not.
Anyway,
Okay, then what?
I did not. So I called Ideal, said, hey, I know I'm not ready, but I want this property and I want it financed. And I closed on January 31st.
Pretty cool.
With Ideal. They are amazing, hardworking people, and they had my back. They knew how bad I wanted this
Especially
property.
with the holidays and all that. That's great. You were able to get it done in basically 30 days.
Dan and Drew at Ideal Home Loans, holy moly.
Okay.
I'm doing my demo work now, and I'm in the property.
So are you redoing the house?
I am.
What are you going to do?
Just doing updating in the bathroom and the kitchen.
Now, did you work that into your loan, or did you have cash to do that?
I have cash to do it.
Very cool. Well, congratulations, Sarah. I'm glad to hear that. Chuck, what's going on? Chuck.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
Quick question. I was out of pocket about $50,000 last year for my son was in rehab, and that was my out-of-pocket cost that insurance wouldn't cover. Can I claim that as medical deduction on my taxes?
Eric?
What happens is do you itemize your deductions?
Absolutely.
What happens is with medical, you get whatever is over 10% of your income. So you miss a bunch of it. So, but if your income was, well, let's say your income
a couple $100,000.
Yeah. So what happens is that you would miss the first $20,000. So you would get, that's a big enough amount where you would get a chunk of it on your itemized deductions, but not all of it.
And as far as the medical expenses, I mean, does it have to be qualified in some way? I mean, I assume that counts as a medical expense.
Well, yeah, I mean, and there's you just Google at the IRS website, there's like a specific list of what does or doesn't qualify, but it sounds like it's all pretty necessary stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, treatment options are usually hands down.
We got an online question for Eric.
Yeah.
He sold some property in New Hampshire. Does he have to claim it on his income taxes here in Colorado?
For capital gains.
Where he resides.
No, if the property was in New Hampshire will track it. He'll have to file probably a New Hampshire tax return if it was big enough to be on the radar screen.
For state tax.
For state taxes. And then on Colorado taxes, you'll get you have to report all your income in Colorado, but then you'll get a credit for the taxes you paid in New Hampshire, if that makes sense.
So you don't double tax.
Right.
But what if you pay less there? You could end up paying some here.
You could, yeah, although Colorado's such a low rate, a flat 4.6%. Generally, we're lower than most states.
Okay. Chris, what's happening with you, Chris?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Good. What's happening with your iPhone?
So I have I don't know if you've heard of Square Trade warranties. They're like a third-party warranty. You can get it to year. So they sent me a phone back in September.
A replacement phone?
Correct, a replacement phone. So I, mailed my phone in, and they mailed me one back.
Do you have a deductible?
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
what
the
happened?
deductible and all that. It crapped out again, and then I took it to my warranty expired in January, so I couldn't get a new one from them. And I figured maybe, whatever, it happens. So
Your warranty expired for the replacement phone?
Yeah, correct.
His Square D warranty.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the way the Square Trade works. And so I took it to the Apple store to see if maybe they could help me out, and they plug it into their diagnostics, and they tell me it's not an iPhone.
What?
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
so
it's
they
one of
told
them
me it's
Chinese
not
knockoffs.
Wait, it's not an iPhone? Did you know it was?
iPhone, yeah.
Did you know it was not an iPhone?
No, I mean, my understanding on the contract is so they can, do it with refurbished parts, but I still want an iPhone. And so
What did
Apple
they
store
say?
wouldn't touch
What
it.
did they say specifically? Like it
the
was
Apple store or Square Trade?
The Apple Store.
They said that they wouldn't touch it because it's not. They couldn't find the serial number, and it was not an iPhone.
It's almost like an identical one. I mean, it's a good knockoff.
Yeah.
Well, with
It
the
has
exception
the
it's not
Apple
working.
Logo. It has the Apple logo. It says, designed by Apple in California, but
Apple,
it's not
Apple at that point had a right to confiscate it. You're lucky they didn't.
Not long ago, they
can't
busted
use it.
2 or 3 Apple stores in China. The entire stores in the mall were fake. Every product was fake. The actual franchise was fake. Fake, fake, fake.
Okay, so what did Square Trade say?
They basically said I was out of luck because the warranty was, they according to them, they fulfilled their.
But it was
side of
phony. They didn't fulfill it.
Well, we don't know what the contract said or the agreement.
What's the contract going to say?
I have no idea.
What could ever possibly...
How about if it says replace with a like unit?
What does it say?
I mean,
Yeah, but Mark,
I'd
it's
look at the
illegal. I'd make
nitty-gritty.
that
I
argument.
Well, I don't know what
allowed
it
to
says.
How much deductible did you pay?
$75.
See, this would be perfect for small,
claims, yep,
but
small claims court.
it's going to come down to where do you serve and sue them. That's where the issue is going to be with this one.
Mark, you sued them all. You always sue in Colorado and you get away with it.
No, but like when I went after a particular phone company, I had to actually have an address of one of their company stores in that county.
Well, let's do it.
The Square place isn't going to have an address anywhere in Colorado.
Okay, but it was... Where did you buy it, the Square Trade warranty?
It's online.
Online, yeah.
I've used them. That's how I know.
How much a month was it?
It was a flat rate. It was $129 for 3 years from date of purchase. So I bought it in
this is flat out wrong. I mean, they're dealing in counterfeit goods.
If they knew.
That's what I'm saying. Isn't their responsibility to, they're using other people to fix them. Isn't it their responsibility to check up on the quality? Like, I want an iPhone. Like, that was my
Even if
my
they
contract,
didn't know, it doesn't matter. They're dealing in it. They can't deal, and you can. That's straight. Now, it would be different if it was Apple, APPEL, or something weird. But if it's the real logo and the real lettering, and they're misleading you, they're wrong.
Yeah.
Even if they don't know about it, they're wrong. They're held responsible for it.
I'm sure it's Hong Kong Phooey.
It's like stolen property. You're responsible. Whether you know it or not, you're responsible. You may not have a crime, but you're responsible. They have to make that good for you. I don't know how else to put it. It has nothing to do with warranty. Did you tell them that? It has nothing to do with warranty. It's you were defrauded. Did you use those words?
No, I did not.
Okay, would you please do this? And tell them you're going to the media and you have people who expressed a lot of interest in doing this, because it will ruin Square Trade if we go on YouTube and make a campaign and literally show your phone and that it's not an iPhone, and you know, I don't even know how they can stay in business. I would give them a chance to make that good. I would call them and say, look, you don't understand something. I'm going to the media and we're going a campaign because it's not a warranty issue. You issued me a phony phone. It is a bootleg. No, it's not even bootleg. It's phony.
You need to get something from Apple in writing.
Can you get something from Apple?
I mean, I can try. I would wonder if they would be willing to do that or not. But yeah, I can go back.
See, they're in San Francisco.
Go to another Apple store and just do it again. And when they tell you it's not an Apple, say, oh my God, I got this from Square Trade as a replacement phone. Can you get me something that shows it's not an iPhone?
And I wonder what they consider not an iPhone. Follow me here. If you don't replace it with the actual Apple glass and you use an aftermarket glass, is that no longer an iPhone?
He said they didn't know till they plugged it in, so it was some reading they got on the processor, right?
That's my understanding.
But that you need to clarify this, Chris. If we're going to
couldn't pull a serial number off, and he was looking on the back of it. You know, it looks almost identical to the other iPhone I have, but like it doesn't have a certain number. He said like IMIE or something like that he couldn't get.
Yeah, did they crack it open?
No, he wouldn't touch it.
Did he plug it in?
Yes, he plugged it into his computer and he ran some.
Okay, that's what you need. You need to do this again.
You know who could look at this for us? I kid you not. ITED. He's got access to all that equipment. I'd like to hear what ITED says about it.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we ought to call him. Let's listen. I'll go all the way with this, and I'll help you make a hell of a lot of noise. This is a serious issue. What iPhone is it supposed to be?
iPhone 6.
Yeah, you're way back, bro.
Yeah, I know. I try to hold on to it as long as I can.
Okay, but we still can do something with it. I mean it. So, hold on.
Okay.
Let's get his information and get him hooked up with ITED. ITED could just meet him at the store as if he's taking it in. Like
That's what I mean.
And then
he could buy him lunch.
Yeah. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. One clear choice, garage doors. If you need anything with garage doors, let's say your spring just broke. You don't know who to call. One clear choice doors. Let's say you want a new garage door opener, starting at just $333. That's One Clear Choice Garage Doors. A great company. They do free inspections too. If you mention my name, they'll look over the entire door, give you a full written report. They'll tighten the hinge bolts. They'll lubricate it. They'll adjust it. That's OneClearChoiceDoors.com. 303-565-6409. 303-565-6409.
From the L&L.
That used to be a big deal with Microsoft. You know, they had before you would have to register and your copy and your authentication would talk to Microsoft. So really, that's what he's again. What happened? Okay, I had so many. I know these things. Shiny hitters. Shit. I mean, I thought it so good now. That Microsoft is well, here's what they found out. The same factory the same factory in China was putting them out the back, not reporting. So they literally were identical. Well, this is where I think Trump is the whole world to China. Okay, they don't mind like. Oh, they steal. China steals everything. And they says we're not going to trade. I mean, that would shut a lot of stuff down. But how do you stop that? How else do you stop that? Well, you know, I don't know how China stops it in their own country. What are they going to do? We'll start. My brother, I will build iPhones at home for long. Because you can buy everything. You can buy everything to build an iPhone. It would be more expensive, I would think. Probably. Oh yeah. You like building a car. The screen alone. Almost a million. Well, that's
That story I read on that fake Apple store in the mall, some mall in China, it looked just like an Apple store here. 100% fake. That's what he was buying. Products. Yeah, but it'd be like me opening up a McDonald's in Castle Rock and never talking to McDonald's. I know, but God, wouldn't it just be insane? How long it got away with it? No. It could still be open. I mean, I don't know if they cracked it. Apple's the one that went and found out it was all fake. It wasn't the Chinese government. Oh, yeah. Also, in New York, you buy a Rolex for next to nothing. That would be scary because you're flying. I know if you got home to know it said Polex or Rolex. It said Polex. That was a Polish Russian guy. I was always told the Rolexes have that smooth. They don't tick the second-hand smooth, but there must be another company that's got technology to make a minute. No, I had almost perfect. I had a real one. And I had a fake one, and I couldn't. Well, it was heavier than the real one. But you could tell that it was hard. No, I couldn't, except for the weight. I mean, and it wasn't real gold. Yeah, but by the naked eye.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Melinda is with us, the income organizer, and she wants to offer something. What she does is help people organize their income. And many times, you can do better without earning more money, just knowing how to place your money and how to organize your bills. She'll do a free review for somebody. What's the deal? It's in honor of Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah, let's save a marriage from money fights.
How are we going to do it? Free, right?
Yeah.
One free
session.
To who?
How about message me on my contact page on my website?
Okay.
And when I get back to the office, the first one that sent me a message.
But it has to be newlyweds, right?
Getting married this year.
Or married this year. Well,
no, getting married.
Okay.
In 2018.
If you're getting married from here forward in 2018, you will get a free analysis by the income organizer, a free session. Here is the website. You got to contact her through the website and say, I heard you on Martino's show. I want the free analysis or the free consultation. Incomeorganizer.com. Actually,
thank God, that's not a bad one.
That's a good URL. Yeah, it's a good one. Incomeorganizer.com.
That's a $175 value.
Okay. Good.
You remember the guy with the face cream or the marijuana cream like 2 weeks ago on his website?
Yeah.
It was ungodly.
No, the name. People make a mistake. In Melinda's case, it just happens to be a good name of a company and a good name of a website. But you don't always have to have your website be the name of the company. People don't understand that. And sometimes they go through conniptions trying to make it the same with hyphens and you know, .orgs instead of .or. It's just not worth it. You need to pick something that's catchy. It doesn't have to reflect the name of your business. And one of the dumbest things people do is take the initials of their business because they want it to be reflective of their business, and it doesn't have to be. But it just so happens this one, incomeorganizer.com, is pretty cool. All right, let's talk to Mark. Mark, what's going on?
Hi, I received some disability pay earlier this year, about a few $1,000s.
Yes.
And I don't know how to report it on my taxes. I'm not receiving a W-2 from either the third party or my employer. How would I do that?
Is that even, Eric, is that even reportable? I don't even know. Hold on.
Is this for, like, work-related, or just what triggered it?
It was not work-related, just an illness.
Yeah, I don't think that would be taxable.
Well, what I'm reading is that it's taxable as long as I don't pay the premium policy, or the policy premium.
Is this a work-related disability, or who pays the premium?
Is it like an Aflac product?
No, it's not. It's through my health insurance through work, but I don't pay into my health insurance. It's paid for me monthly.
I still don't think I don't think it's taxable, but that's up to you.
So what I'm finding out is that it's taxable. As I read, it says it's taxable because I don't pay into the policy.
Well, you will you probably will get a year-end statement no matter what, and that'll probably help drive what you have to do with it. You'll probably get a
here's the way I understand it.
Well, here, get a year-end statement from the third party saying, and it outlines every amount I paid, including the FICA taxes.
That's right.
And it says they report it to the employer, and the employer is supposed to report it to me through my W-2. Now, I do get a W-2 from my employer that has the box marked third party sick pay, although the amount is not included in my pay.
Well, they technically get taxed on the amount of insurance they pay for you. Usually, it's included, but not the awards. So that's the way it usually goes. Now, if you think you need to report it, report it. But
that's my question. If just say I just want to report it and be done with it, so I can move on. How do I report it?
Have you
how about just miscellaneous income? Then, if you have a question on it, you show them that line.
Is that the procedure? Just
no. I'm saying if there is
audited?
no, Eric.
Yeah, it's a weird situation. Have you talked to your employer about it? Because it's their responsibility to properly report it.
Yeah, they each point to each other. My insurance company, which they pay to insure us,
right?
And then
why do you care so much?
To my employer.
Why do you care so much?
Because it would amount to about $2,000 worth of taxes.
Okay.
It looks like he's right, though. I mean, it looks like if the employer's paying for everything, they actually get the tax benefit.
What do you mean they get the tax
benefit? The employer looks like they get to write it off on their side because they're paying 100% of the premium. So they get to take... He ends up paying taxes on it. They get to take the deduction on it.
I get it.
If I paid half the premium,
That's exactly what this says, too. Or if he paid 20%.
Why wouldn't you just do it as other income?
Line 22, miscellaneous income.
Okay, that's fine. Line 22, you say?
Yeah, there's a line down there for other income at the bottom of page 1.
And how do I describe it as third-party sick pay?
You don't have to describe it at all. It's not required. I mean, just do as minimal as possible. Here's the main thing. If you're ever asked about it, then you got something to show. Vernon, what is your question?
All right, Tom, how you doing?
Good.
I worked 2 months last year for Uber.
And what's your question?
I made less. I'm sorry?
What's your question, sir?
My question is, I made less than $1,000, but I had to buy a new phone and some other equipment. Can I write those things off as a loss?
You betcha.
Okay.
Yeah, everything, though. Gasoline, phone, everything.
Everything that you expend, you can write off, even if you didn't make enough money. You can have a loss.
A lot of Uber drivers trigger a tax loss on their tax return.
Yeah, Margie.
Absolutely.
What's going on, Margie? You got a rant. Go ahead.
I've got a rant. It's really fast. I am so tired of driving at night down at Franktown and people coming at me with rows of headlights. I think there should be a law against that.
You mean rows of high beams?
No, just rows of
It's like
headlights.
pickup trucks, Tom, these big dualies with like 4 sets of headlights.
See what you're
saying.
Blinding.
I came down, here's a guy coming right at me with a car, and he's got 2 sets of headlights. It's like, what the hell? Anyway, it's blinding.
Okay, so she doesn't want you to have multiple lines of headlights. I think there should be some standards when it comes to brightness and stuff because it's dangerous.
I think there are. There's probably no enforcement.
Yeah, I mean, really... I see some people that their normal headlight is so bright, I can hardly see past them. But I don't think it's
Or you flash them because you think their high beams are on and they're not on.
Right. That happened to me. Now mine now is automatic, where the high beams go off automatically. I never even touch it. Okay, we're done. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Don't forget referralist.com and theincomeorganizer.com, and also Atlas Financial Advisors and CPAs, and save all your problems for me.
Yeah, Brown's got to get in there. Jump, Brown.